Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, Jay.
No, actually, I feel like this might be on
Here
base.
you
I feel
go.
like this might be on base. Yeah. So you know how they all just say like their name, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
Can
they're
you
just
give me
like,
an example?
sometimes they're just like coffee and stuff like
Mari
that.
Crombo Weaves. My name is Cole. His name is Mike. His name is Jay. We like anime. And this is episode 149 of AniPro. Whoa. You know what next episode is? You guys know what that means, right?
One for every Pokemon.
One for every Pokemon. That's all of the Pokemon. There are no more Pokemon.
Rip Mew.
Boy, do I have news for you.
Oh, God. Let me live in my blissful ignorance. On this week's episode, we are essentially reviewing this past season of anime. We're giving our seasonal awards out today, boys. And let me tell you, as the person who has sole possession of the first award pick, I don't know how you guys are going to do it. I don't know what you guys are going to do.
Yeah, some seasons are deeper than others. This is not one of those seasons, in my opinion.
No.
It's
The
not
cream...
as bad, but there is definitely cream that has risen to the top, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, there's some really good shows and there's some not so good shows. But we'll talk about all of that because we do have one award that is the biggest flop of the season. But I just want to say, if this is your first time here, why don't you consider subscribing to our podcast? Maybe leave a like if you like it. If you really like it, we got a Patreon, we got a Discord and everything. You can come check out. But of course, that's all of that out of the way. I just want to say hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
How art thou this fine weekend? It's been so long since I've seen you both.
Yes. It's been literally many hours.
It's been a week.
It's been over 24 hours since I saw
That's
you
right.
both
Yeah.
in the same room.
But we are actually in person. You confirmed that we are still in our fleshly vessels.
Unless you guys are really good at tricking me, which I
mean, to be honest, Cole, it's really not hard.
This is all AI.
Yeah,
It's just me.
You've stopped confirming. You've stopped doing the poke test.
You stopped using. You stopped actually hanging out with us, and you just like go on here, set up a bot, and
Yeah, these are actually two bots Cole's crafted to just like keep him sane. But in reality,
and it's true. I would program two bots to belittle me and make fun of me. That is
true,
something I would do.
You would. Yeah, you got that step on me energy, right?
I would.
Yeah, no,
let's get real. You guys would be two like anime waifus.
I'd have way bigger booba.
no. This is absolutely Mike and Jay.
Yeah. Cole, you are dashingly handsome today. Your hair looks great.
I'm gonna have to change those settings. I think I expect
Cole,
more angry.
you're a piece of shit.
There we go.
Whoa, okay.
Perfect.
Cole, you right in the ass.
Yes, excellent. You guys, perfect. All of this, my
just the way he likes
programming
it.
has come to fruition. What? In all seriousness, I saw you guys yesterday. What did we do yesterday? What did I make Jay hang out with me? And then after that, after I picked up Jay, I said, let's go to Michael's without telling him. And what did I make you two do?
Well, after your guys' nice little date that you had, you came over to my house and we watched some anime OPs, all the OPs for the season. And then some from next season when we ran out. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of
gunk.
OPs, a lot of gunk.
There's a lot of gunk in the tube, I can tell you
There's
that.
there's a lot of smegma in the anime OP
yes.
Okay.
world.
Oh yeah.
All the
That's how to
isekai
swear.
OPs kind of just like blended together after a bit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they can't all be winners, let's be real. And they even lots of the good shows don't even have a winning OP, so yeah.
There will be 3 winners, which actually I think it's in our first half we do the OP.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like our first actual award.
Yep. Because there's the flop, which we start off with a bit of hating because we like to hate here, and then we go into OP.
Yeah.
Did you explain with the awards that it goes into like a end of the year thing, by the way?
Yeah. I think this is a pretty unique thing. Like, we do two things that are extremely unique to this podcast.
We got two things.
We got two things going for us.
And that's it.
Well, no, everybody does reviews. Everybody does all of that. But I think we got our draft, which we did 2 weeks ago. And we've got our seasonal awards. I think we're pretty much the only people who do that. Our seasonal awards, though, these are essentially our nominations for the year-end awards. So everything that we nominate here today, give our personal awards to, goes into the big pool that you all can vote on at the end of the year. Yeah, so basically this episode is just all awards, and we're going to talk about runners up and stuff like that, but ultimately there can be only 3 per category.
And per person there can be only 1.
And of course,
and there cannot be any overlaps at all.
Just like our draft, there are implications to the previous season's draft as well. I won this season.
You did?
I did. So I get to give my awards out first, followed by Jay, and then Michael. And as Mike said, no overlapping. So it's kind of my prize. I get first picks at the awards.
He does.
Yeah.
Haha. Nanner, nanner, neener. I'm the winner. I don't want to brag.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, no bragging, but like he's the winner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Cole was trying to ask us what's like going on, what's on our minds or something like that.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Do you got something on your mind, Mike? Do you want to share something with us?
I just recently listened to an audiobook and I thought it was very interesting for you guys. It's called Doom Guy. It's by John Romero, the guy who he's like one half of the team who kind of like founded id Software and like Doom and Wolfenstein and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just a really interesting look into like basically how like programming and the gaming culture in the world was like in the late 80s, early 90s, so like 30 years ago kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very interesting to like check out and like kind of see how things worked. And it's kind of shows you too, like even then times were changing so quickly. Because like when Doom came out, he makes a point that like FPSs weren't a thing.
They weren't.
Like it literally created the genre of like a first person FPS. And
FPSs,
also like
FPSs used to be called Doom clones.
Yeah, which is like crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. Because that's like they didn't know what to call it. So it's like, it's a Doom clone, which I guess we kind of do the same thing with like Souls-like games now.
Or Metroidvania.
Right? Yeah. Interesting. I'm interested in it. Is there a catheter scene in it? Did I have to worry about?
No. there's no catheter scene in this one. Just abusive parents and just a tough life. Yeah. It's interesting, but I wouldn't say it's for everyone just because it's like you can tell it's written by a guy who, when you talk to someone who clearly knows a lot about what they're talking about and they understand it so deeply that it kind of like they're not really good at explaining it to other people because they just like they get it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit
when
of
I look in the mirror, that happens.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. Also, he does mention though that he has, I think he calls it an eidetic memory, which is like basically like like a photographic memory.
Yeah,
like he like basically remembers everything in like photo detail, which he says like really helped him as being a programmer and like a game designer because he can like literally recall how all the code works and stuff like that. It's cool. Yeah. It's a cool book. I'd say check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. If you don't want to get caught up in technical mumbo jumbo, maybe not.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm interested.
It's cool to see legacy. I like legacies like that. Like I like seeing like how things came to be, and that it's a good version of that. Yeah.
I'll check it out. Jay, did you finish that game that we were talking about yesterday?
No, I haven't. So the demo's actually longer than I thought it would be.
Oh, really?
So I'm like in the first dungeon, like the first like actual dungeon. Like that cave that you go into. It's like kind of a dungeon, but it's not really. This is like the first dungeon proper, and A lot has
before you
happened.
go further, we never said which game you're talking about.
Metaphor ReFantazio.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
the demo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The demo I was playing last week.
Yeah. So like yesterday when we were talking, we both said like we're basically at the same part. So like how much more time have you put in?
Like 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like I was already at like 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So how many hours are in this demo? Because it's a girthy demo.
Yeah. So like it's basically like the first little bit and then the first 3 days of the first dungeon is how they do it.
Okay.
So like they let you do everything leading up to the first dungeon and then the first 3 days of the first dungeon. And then they're like, okay, now you have to wait for the full game.
Right.
And
I mean,
like
you do got to cut it off at some point. Yeah.
But the gameplay
full
loop
game in a demo, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay.
You guys are very hostile for some reason. But like, yeah, the gameplay loop is very, very similar to Persona. Like,
Okay.
I'd say like the biggest difference is instead of you being the only person who can switch personas, everyone in the party can.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
you have to go to who is basically Igor to switch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, you can basically make any one of your party members whatever you want them to be and plan your team around depending, which I think is pretty cool.
The strategy's a little deeper then. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a bit more
different
strategy to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that more true to like the Shin Megami Tensei games? Or
A little
are they
bit,
completely
like,
different? I've never played one for
It's
full
kind
context.
of like a Persona game if it was more in line with what Shin Megami Tensei was at the beginning.
Okay.
So like it kind of takes like the ideas of Persona and the ideas of Shin Megami Tensei and does the fusion dance.
Make some kith.
Make some kith, and they're just one final form. And I think like, yeah, this is basically the culmination of everything Atlas has learned up to this point.
Okay. Well, that's what you'd hope anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Other important question. Who's best girl so far?
Oh my God.
'Cause let's be real. Persona fans, that's one of the most important questions in Persona.
The thing about this game is like the girl, like there's no real like dating aspect.
Mm.
Oh, well, I'm out then. Persona is just a glorified dating sim to me.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind
of is.
Yeah, but there's no real like dating aspect to it. It's more like you're trying to gain followers because you're trying to become king.
Okay.
Well, it's more complex than that. You're gaining notoriety to make the prince king, but you're trying to
Okay.
become king. And so like all the bonds you make are your followers that you pick up along the way, and you're just trying to make them more devout, I suppose.
Okay.
She's trying to make him really devout, if you know what I mean.
Make them worship.
But like if we're going just based on the story, best girl would be Hulkenberg, who's this royal guard who failed to protect the prince at the beginning of the story.
I think she's got like red hair.
Yeah.
She's a red hair with a super long ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, Jay
Looking
likes her.
Well,
Yeah,
like she's
elf.
basically the only girl that's been introduced at this point.
No, best girl has been introduced. The little fairy.
Yeah, the little
Okay,
puck
cool.
clone looks pretty good too.
Yeah,
I'm looking
she's
at
the
pictures
best.
here.
She's fine.
I am seeing this one screenshot here, and
There's been like one scene with that other girl. How
There's
could
been a-
She appears more in the story later on the demo.
No, okay, yeah, sure. Sure, you just like her because her ears are long.
Cool, I just confirmed that I'm further than you.
I don't
So
believe it.
actually play the demo, then come back and tell me that she's not good.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you.
I wouldn't believe it for a second.
No.
Yeah.
What were you going to say about a screenshot, Mike?
I'm looking at a screenshot here, and there is a blonde, tanned-looking girl. She seems like best girl to me. Just saying. I
She
don't know who
hasn't
that
been
is.
introduced yet in the game. At least
okay.
It's
where I
tough.
played.
It's tough to judge, right? Because
Yeah.
the game's not out.
Yeah,
It's not out,
ultimately.
and like it's just the prologue at this point. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Court's out. There's another girl that I've met that has pink hair and pink short hair, but like
Short
don't really
hair,
know
you
much
say?
about her.
Interesting.
Cole awakens.
Yeah, here I am.
Cole's ready. Cole's
I'm
like,
ready.
Short hair, hey?
Yeah, I gotta finish that demo. No, I mean, if there's a lot more to it, that kind of makes me want to play it more, actually. Because I was saying to you, like, I don't want to finish it because still a few weeks before the game comes out proper. So,
yeah,
actually, I think it'll be out when this releases. But
probably.
Did they say, by the way, that because I think what they do sometimes is they'll let it so that your save from the demo carries into the game. Have they said that happens? Because I was going to say, if you're putting 4 or 5 hours into the demo and you have to redo it, that's going to stink. But
no, they said like demo save is going to carry over.
Okay.
I think the idea is
I feel like that's standard stuff.
Yeah, I think the idea is they're like putting out a test for the game to see like if there's any bugs, and then like that way they can patch it up before they actually release it.
Yeah.
So we're basically their playtesters.
Yeah.
That is the way it works now, kind of. Yeah.
And I've been playing Flight Sim. What else is new?
Yeah. Of
I
course.
mean, yeah.
That's to be expected.
Yeah. Okay. What else is new?
Yeah. No, honestly though, like I woke up this morning. I'm like, okay, I'll do like a quick flight, and then like. I don't know, 7 hours later, I'm like, I should probably like eat some food.
That's the thing with like when you're in like a good gaming mood, you're just like, when you finally like take a break, you're like, oh God, I'm literally dying.
Why did I do this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you like
okay,
for the first time in like 6 hours.
Yeah. Let's get into this.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get serious.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes.
Let's get into the meat and the potatoes and the gravy and the stuffing and the
roasted Brussels sprouts.
No. You know what? That's the biggest flop of this meal.
Yeah.
Let's talk about biggest flop of the season.
What flopped like a boiled carrot onto our seasonal anime plates?
You know what? There were some shows that maybe didn't live up to the hype this season, and there were some shows that did. But overall, I think it was a pretty like average season, I would say.
I wouldn't say there was really very many surprises, is what I would say. Nothing really. There's only one thing I can think that surprised me this season, but we'll get to that. Yeah.
Now, what did surprise me though was I didn't think that they could take a show like this and make it as awful as it was. I only watched the first episode because I felt like I needed to. I had to do my due diligence. And the manga's trashy as well, but like they took this to another level and nobody's talking about this, and for good reason. I'm going with Plus Sized Elf. Huge flop. Like they took something that was already trashy and dumb and not good, and they couldn't even do that right. Like they made it even worse.
It's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
Not good.
So like you've read some of the manga and you've watched the first episode, you said. Like what was like the grievous sin? It just like they amped up the etchiness, or
yeah, like they just kind of amped it up, and like they made the main girl like kind of like
a glutton.
I don't know, like overly gross, I want to say. And it's like, I don't know, like Jay and I were talking about it yesterday. It's like somebody had a fetish or something that they were like playing in, and like not everybody's into what you're into. I'm not gonna say anything about what people are into, but
so it just felt like maybe a little too like graphic is maybe the vibe I'm getting from what you're saying.
Not even graphic. Like its biggest sin is that like they took this ecchi show and it's not even hot.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's just kind of gross. I don't know, in a weird way.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing that I kind of noticed, the only thing I really know about it is it was I knew it was going to be ecchi. I didn't think it was going to be quite as ecchi as it was, just from like the screen. I see little clips of it on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the thing that kind of like for me convince me to not watch it even a little bit was it was a slideshow. Like it did not look like it was animated really at all.
Yeah. Like unexpected nudity and stuff like that, which I don't recall being in the manga, but I mean, there's probably some super hardcore big fan of this manga who's like, no, there was nudity. I don't know. It didn't stand out to me where like it did in this for being so gratuitous, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
Like, I don't know. There's a time and a place. I'm not gonna say that, like, hey, I've seen stuff like that, but I'm not looking for it right now, and it's weird if I see that when I'm not looking for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm kind of picking up what you're putting down. Yeah.
Anyway, that's my big flop.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think like, I remember when that show was coming out, and like a lot of people were looking forward to it for like the etchiness of it.
Yeah.
And then like the show came out, and just like nobody was talking about it.
Yeah.
It died.
Has.
It basically
just like
completely died.
Fell off a cliff.
And I think that's even worse for it. Like, it's just the apathy sometimes is even worse than outrage, and I think that
I would say
that
usually
apathy,
is,
and just what caused it is just so disappointing. Not that I was expecting something out of it, but it took my expectations, and
somehow even underwhelmed. Yeah,
underwhelmed from there.
Well, I mean, like they say, the opposite of love isn't hate; it's indifference.
Yeah, there you go.
True.
Well put, Jay.
Yeah. Jay, what's your big flop?
My biggest flop of the season is a show that, unlike Plus Size Elf, but like how it was pretty hyped up, and then when it came out, didn't live up to it, is a show by Studio Wit, written by ReZero's author. I mean, it had a lot going for it, and then it just kind of flopped, and that's Suicide Squad Isekai.
Okay.
Like what I saw for Plus Sized Elf, everyone was talking about it before the season started.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it had so much going for it. And then like it came out, and all I saw online was like, oh, the show's not good, or like this show's just not what I was looking for, especially from the ReZero author. And then I wanted to watch it, but oh wait, I can't, because it's not available here in Canada.
Because
it's a HBO Max / Adult Swim license.
Yeah, it's only on Max.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Thanks, HBO.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. I mean, what I will say about this one is, based on everything I've heard from everybody, like, it does get decent as the show moves on. Unfortunately, though, you only have one chance at a first impression, and if you kind of lost everybody at the start of it, yeah. No, I think they lost too much momentum, and nobody was really talking about it towards the end of the season.
Honestly, I'm going to push back on both of you guys a little bit as someone who watched it and drafted it. I think this show kind of got caught up in the Twitter meme outrage that happens, where people, exactly what Jay just described, where he sees people say it's bad, and then they all want to join in and just join in on the dunking, and maybe like half those people didn't even watch the show. Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I've heard that it really picked up and that it was okay, but it had already kind of lost its momentum by that point. Yeah. I understand the flop, because it was hyped up coming into the season for sure. And I think it rounded into form, but I can't argue that it flopped for sure. I wouldn't say it's like the worst show of the season or anything, but like it just didn't, like, the way I see biggest flop is like it didn't live up to the hype. And Yep, for sure. Now, normally, Mike, I would scold you a little bit for you obviously weren't able to watch the show legally. How could you? You know what, though? What choice do we have? If we want to watch the show... I watched it. I VPN'd into HBO Max. Oh, okay. Well, that's good for you. Now, if you don't have access to a VPN, I'm still not going to scold you, because what the hell? Like, if you don't give us any alternative, we can't be held responsible for what we need to do to watch our anime. Yeah. Anyway, that's my soapbox. Thank you. But anyway, Mike, what was your biggest flop of the season? Now that old man has shaken his fist at the clouds, I will tell you my flop of the season. And it's the one I'm glad you guys left for me, because I thought both of you were going to take it, and you didn't. So thank you, gentlemen. I left it for you. Here you go. This one's for you. You're so kind. You're so kind. Well, there was a show this season that I thought Jay, when he said it was a highly anticipated anime from the studio Wit, that people were really excited about coming into the season, and frankly just did not live up to the hype. That is my dear friend Noko-tan. And that is my flop of the season, because frankly, it is, once the joke got old, and that was about episode 2, it just fell off a cliff precipitously. It wasn't, kind of like Suicide Squad, it wasn't horrible. Like it was fine, but I didn't find myself laughing more often than not at the jokes. And it just kind of, it got old extremely fast. It was well animated and like well produced and stuff like that. And it did have like the scene where she walks in and like bursts through the doors, like the Elden Ring boss music is playing or whatever. That was funny. But like for the most part, this show flopped more than it was just kind of flaccid is maybe the word. When I say flop, I think of the word flaccid. And like that is just kind of, I feel like how I describe this show. It just kind of didn't do anything of any impact at all.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes like you do still see every now and then like a clip that does look sometimes funny from like recent episodes, but it's like, I don't want to slog through like 20 minutes of a, here's the thing. I don't want to slog through 20 minutes of a show for like a 15-second scene. Yeah. And that's over and over again, over 12 episodes. And it's like, I'm kind of with you. Like this is still getting the rounds online and stuff like that. But yeah. I don't know. Maybe we've just grown out of this. Maybe our palates have just become too refined, Michael.
I don't know, because it started quite strongly, and then I think it really fell off. And Jay, I think maybe that was what you were going to bring up, or
like for a lot of people, they just kind of got used to the joke and we're like, okay, I get it. Some people, like, I think we're still kind of riding the wave of that meme, and it just like being a part of meme culture. But for a lot of people, I think like the people who were into it for the meme side of it rather than the anime side of it were still into it because of the meme. But like the anime community was just kind of like, okay, we get it, and then just fell off.
It was one note, and then once that one note got a little old, it's kind of like, okay, where do we go from here?
Yeah. It's good for making memes, but like how many, like how long can you like wade in that sewer?
How long can you milk that cow?
Milk that deer. Yeah. Should we get into some better cat? Do you guys have any other like runner-up flops, things that you want to mention that kind of underwhelmed you?
I'll mention the robot wife one. My wife has no emotions.
Yeah.
Just for
Did
being
you feel no
so
emotions while watching it.
Just for being so inoffensive. Like it was just kind of blah.
Yeah. Just like plain white rice, the anime.
Yeah, it was just blah. And then I just completely lost interest in it. And personally speaking as well, for me, Alia, kind of like, what a gorgeous show. Yeah. I'm not against the story. It just kind of blah for me too.
I didn't see, outside of once Little Sister there had her, like, basically I saw a lot more of Little Sister than anything else in that show. And it seemed like that was pretty well the only show that show had going for it, other than being gorgeous.
Yeah. The OP is pretty good. Little Sister is best girl, Jay. I won't hear any arguments.
Well, we'll find out when you award best girl this time, if that's actually true.
TBD. Yeah.
Jay, I'm
holding you to that.
Runners up to you got?
I want to bring this one up because one of us drafted it and it ended up being terrible. And that's why does nobody remember me in this world?
Why do I not remember this show in my world?
Yeah.
Because it was so bad. And you know what? The thing is, it's. I knew it was a coin flip of whether it was gonna be decent or terrible, and it didn't. It basically lived up to my expectation of it being terrible. And like me and Jay laughed at a lot is the dialogue is just.
Well, you guys showed me that clip yesterday, and it was like 2 minutes, and it was just atrocious. It was basically just two characters talking at each other, declaring what is happening in the scene. And it's like, did you not like when you're writing character dialogue, like they both know what's happening. I don't need to be explaining everything to each other.
I remember we were watching that, and Cole, you were like, Cole, who's he talking to? And I was like, you,
me, Cole.
Yeah. The author forgot that it's like an in-universe character. They just figured, no, it's like a character. They have to explain it to the reader.
Yeah.
It's
goofy dialogue. Mike, do you got a runner up?
Yeah, I'll just quickly throw out Tower of God season 2. Well, I feel like the first season left people whelmed, maybe.
Yeah.
It had a chance to continue into something interesting, and like the intrigue of the source material pokes through this one for sure. And it kept me watching for a lot longer than it should have, because honestly, it was a pretty blah adaptation.
The tower crumbled.
It just did not look good. It would kind of
Jay,
wow,
he got it. Wow,
crumbled the tower. Jay. I don't know. It just kind of like it just was so it was just so uninspired, and it just kind of. I actually might check out the manga because like I said, you can kind of tell that like there's an interesting story being told here. But it's just being told so poorly that you're kind of like, I just can't anymore. And it got the rare drop for me. So that's
Yeah. Mike's a difficult drop.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's start talking about some good stuff. Yeah.
Right.
OP of the season. This is the first proper award that we're going to be giving. And again, just to reiterate these awards, these will be the nominees for the year-end awards. So they are meaningful right now. I'm cheating a little bit because as of recording, there has been a second OP for this show that just was released. So I guess I get 2 OPs in one.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that technique.
Yep. I'm going with Monogatari series off and Monster Season. First of all, we get Rentai Circulation 3, which is just return to form for Monogatari. It's not the best Monogatari OP, but I will say it was probably my favorite OP of the season. It's got little character bits that make me laugh. The song is just like delightful. Kana Hanazawa's singing it. Mike, I'm not done. Kana Hanazawa.
And the second OP is
for
Monogatari fans.
Yeah. Well, they all are, right? And the second OP, it's kind of like it's very cinematic. Like it's very much like a movie opening, which is nice too. Not as good as the first OP. Really, I'm nominating the first OP, but I get a bonus one in there too. Monogatari, it's back. Studio Shaft, king of the OPs. They're so good at them. They always do banging OPs.
I counterpoint Nisekoi. Go watch Nisekoi's OPs. They're not that good.
They're not terrible.
Yeah, but I wouldn't look at that and go king of the anime OPs.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they make 4 Monogatari OPs a season.
I mean,
no. We'll talk about this after. Jay, what's your OP of the season?
My OP of the season is for a show that kind of caught the anime community off guard, and like, it's just such a gorgeous OP with a very good song behind it, and that's makeine. And the thing that kind of put it over the top for me is I am a sucker for credit integration and how it is integrated into the OP itself. And like it just kind of like starts off and like you see the characters like moving the credits around, or like it just kind of like moving around with
the credits.
Yeah. And like that's so cool. And again, like it also just looks beautiful.
It's a very bombastic OP. It's very flashy. Yeah.
But it also like it feels like it understands what the show wants to be and plays with that to a T. So yeah, makeine is my OP of the season.
Yeah, always great to have some ska representation in our OPs. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, Jay.
Excellent
no
stuff.
arguments
good
from
choice,
me.
Jay. Yeah.
Probably been my backup too. Yeah.
It was my first pick for the
reference.
Let's go.
Jay took it from me. But I do have a solid backup, and it's an OP that both of you are very familiar with as well, because it's probably the most popular OP of the season. I'm going with the Nokatan OP, Shikairo Days, because everything I said about the show is still true in the flop section. But you know what happened? You know what? You can't get tired of the joke when the opening credits are rolling, and the OP is catchy.
It's catchy.
It's got enough visual things to tickle my lizard brain. It's got the cute anime girls dancing that everybody always loves. It's got everything you want in an anime OP, in my opinion. And it's got a cool backstory too, where the guy was like, yeah, we need an OP and we just want you to say the one thing over and over again, basically.
Say the name of the show.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And I honestly, I really enjoyed the ED or the OP for this one a lot. So yeah, I think we got some good voices here.
Yeah, say what you will about the show. Just going off what you said, like that OP, undeniably a good OP. Like it is genuinely a really good OP. Good gags and stuff. You can't get sick of an OP because it's only a minute and a half long, right?
Right.
Who cares?
And it's got a good song going along with it too. How do you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that, Mike. That's a good one.
Thank you.
It's also like that OP was probably the catchy, like the thing that kind of sold the show on the meme. Because it was the only thing that people did going into the season. So
and the dance.
Yeah.
I do find that like as anime fans, we are suckers for an OP, and an OP will give a otherwise mediocre anime more of a fighting chance. And I feel like this OP went viral for all the right reasons because it was fantastic.
Do you guys have some runners up? I'll let you guys go first because I've got a couple, I think.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
I have one. My runner up was Shoshimin. I think like that OP is also beautiful. I love the symbolism of the wolves and all that, and just how it was directed and everything. Just again, the thing that put Makeine over the top for me was how they integrated the credits into the show.
Yeah. Mike.
My runners up would be either the Tower of God OP was pretty good, actually, surprisingly good considering how terrible the first one was. And that's mostly just like purely out of comparison. But like my real runner up is probably the Nare Nare Cheer for You OP. I think it's called Cheer for You, and it's just, I don't know. It tickles my lizard brain. It's colorful. It's cheerleaders dancing and cheering. It's great. Yeah, watch it. It's a lot of fun.
I think when we watched that one yesterday, I said like this one's giving me diabetes, and
it's so sweet. It's so sugary sweet. That's delicious.
One that caught me off guard yesterday when we were reviewing everything was the I parry everything OP. I really like that OP. Very cool, very artistic. I was into it. It almost made me watch it. Almost.
It is a high dive show, and I know you're a sucker for those.
Almost got you.
Yeah. I do also want to just give a shout out to Dead Demons, Dead Destruction. I really like the OP. I love the integration of live action in it. And like as it starts, it's kind of just like shots from the show. But then like towards the end of the OP, it starts doing like cool things with like taking pictures apart and like putting them on different surfaces and stuff. And the last one, I just want to say, Jay, why didn't neither of us talk about this one? Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian.
Oh yeah,
what an OP!
Well, for a slice of life rom-com OP. I mean, I picked another one, but it starts off like kind of mediocre, but then like by the end, it just like kind of goes like hey, hold my beer.
Yeah, watch this. Yeah. That OP, it revs up. What an OP.
When we were watching them yesterday, I was kind of like I was like, oh, okay, I hadn't seen this before. I was like, oh wow, this is a good OP.
Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
EDs. These are the end credits. I'm gonna go with one of my runners up for OPs. I'm going with Dead Demons, Dead Destruction. You know, a lot of times EDs, they kind of fall into the hole of just doing slideshows over credits. And this show kind of falls for that, but at least it's animated. It does some creative stuff in it. There were no real EDs that kind of like stood out to me. There was a few shows that had some creative EDs, but like this one, I got to give some props to this show because the show was good and I want to give it a little bit of love. Yeah. That's my ED of the season. Jay.
My ED of the season, I was tossed up between two, but after like watching both of them, I kind of lean toward this one because of the parallels with season 1. And that's Oshinoko season 2's ED. how like this one's more about Ruby than last season's was about Aqua, and just kind of like how they like stylistically they're very similar just from different points of view, and they both just look gorgeous. So
good song too. I really appreciate
really
like the 90s like noise grunge aesthetic to it. It's very appealing to me.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the other one we'll get to in a minute, but
she's trying to give his runners up before I even give mine.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe it's Mike's. Mike,
maybe it's mine. I doubt it. Mine is the ED for Elusive Samurai, I think would be my runner-up. It is a lot of fun. It's called Kamakura Style. It's funny because it's the same artist. The song is by the same person who did the Makeine OP, and their name is Bochi Boromaru. I've never heard of them before this season of anime, and then they produced 2 of the funnest songs from this season. I don't know. I might be a fan now. I might have to check them out a little bit. But the ED for this is a lot of fun. It's basically like you take all these like feudal Japan characters from Elusive Samurai, and you just have them kind of like rocking on a bus and just kind of like having a lot of fun. Again, I'm a sucker for fun, and this ED captures a lot of fun for me. There's a few. There's only maybe a few good EDs this season, to be honest with you. And
I think Jay's got another one
runner up, but I think Jay should go first because he's biting at the chomp.
No. I mean, like, it's kind of not fair because this show had 4 EDs, but like the one I'm looking at specifically is the second one for Lemon from makeine. Like that was a gorgeous ED. And like very stylistic. The one thing that kind of puts Oshinoko's over the edge for me is like, one, this only aired for like 3 episodes, and I felt a bit dirty being like, I want to award the second ED that only played for like 3 episodes.
See, you should have done the Chainsaw Man technique and the monogatari technique and just say makeine.
Nah, I can't do that. I'm a man of my principles.
Well, yes,
if nothing else.
And also, like, again, just how Oshinoko's kind of mirrors the first one was really neat. And,
but it tells Ruby's story.
Yeah.
Mike, runner up.
My runner up is probably the Spice and Wolf Part 2 ED. It was very cute. It was very similar to the first ED, which I enjoyed, but it's just like this cute song with like a fairy book or like a fairy tale aesthetic to it a little bit. It's like almost like paper cutouts of them.
Yeah,
and stuff.
classic like Spice and Wolf ED material.
Yeah, it's great. It's perfect. It's exactly what you want after a nice economics and romance lesson from Holo and Lawrence.
As usual, I have a couple. I just want to say Alia did the Chainsaw Man technique. Different ED for every episode. Well done. But my actual runner-up is Monogatari again. I don't want to just sweep Monogatari, just winning everything, but
I don't want to, but I will.
It's just a classic Monogatari ED. Spooky, sketchy,
Yoasobi,
and illustrations and stuff. Yeah, it's good. I really like the ED for this one. Okay, let's talk about songs though. Let's talk about song of the season, gentlemen. So this can be an insert song. This can be an OP, an ED, whatever you want. It needs to be in an anime though. Mike, that's no right. K-pop unless it's in an anime. I'm going with we just talked about it. I'm going with Undead by Yaosobi. Wow, they did it. They made me.
They made you a fan.
No, I wasn't not a fan.
They made you a believer.
Had criticisms. They made me a believer. This song is, I don't know, it just kind of is just a earworm. It just gets stuck in my head. It's got such a cool bridge, like English spoken bridge. Big fan. Works really well for this season too.
Yep. It's a good song. You made us listen to it yesterday at our little watch party, and I agree. Yeah.
I made them do it.
It's good because they differed from the thing that you always complain that they do with their little triplet theme. Their distinct sound, like they differed from it, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a good job. Good job. Good job, Iwatobi. Jay, what's
my best song of the season goes to a show that I haven't talked about yet. Technically, I gave it I have talked about it, actually. Now that I think about it, I have. But this is the first time it's getting an award from me, and that's Sweet Memory by Eve from Shashimin series.
Oh, thank you. I had one song this season. I was scared Jay was gonna take it.
This song is just, out of all the songs that came out this season, this is probably the only one that I actually still listen to.
Okay.
And like just like how the song itself fits Eve's like soft voice is just a treat. This song's a treat.
Is it a treat?
Just a
Yeah,
treat.
it's a treat.
It's just a treat, Mike.
What
are you treating us with?
Yeah, what are you treating us with?
I wonder what kind of treat this song is first. Like if you're to put it in terms of food, what kind of treat?
It's like a strawberry tart.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
I had to remind myself which song
tart.
it was. That's why I wanted to know. I like it. I like the synths in it. It's
Yeah.
very, very nice. Eve's a good group. Mine, the one that I kind of alluded to it, and I was worried Jay was going to take it there for a second, but he didn't, and he's a gentleman and a scholar. I went with the opening song from Makeine. It's called Tsuyo Garu Girl, and it's by Bochi Boromaru, which I just talked about. And
Big
honestly,
fan.
that song is great. That song is a great song. I would listen to that any day. It reminded me of like the classic like flow OPs, I think they are. Like from Naruto, where they have the guy and the girl kind of doing back and forth and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like this good rock song. And it's great. I'm here for it. I would listen to that song. It's probably going on my playlist.
Yeah. It's got high energy. High points in energy. I'm gonna go first this time because I guarantee neither of you picked this song as a song of the season. When I was watching Terminator 0 and the Terminator theme started, but I play on the Terminator theme, I got goosebumps. So I just gotta say, excellent job on that one. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, yes, and they're building the Terminator, and it's so cool.
That's how I feel about that Terminator anime. Is they kind of just like they knew they took their assignment of making a Terminator anime, and they took all the things people want from a Terminator anime, and they did it. It was great. They had the scene where like the Terminator is like walking, following somebody, and you're just like, oh god, how can they get away from this Terminator?
Yeah, makes the Terminator
it perfectly
scary.
captured it. It's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's the best Terminator since T2. Mike, or I'm sorry, Jay.
Yes.
Jay.
Yeah.
What's your runner-up, if you've got?
Sure. My runner-up is the ED for Oshinoko Season 2. I forget what it's called, but like it is a pretty good song.
I think that's what it's called. The ED for Oshinoko Season 2.
I think it's called OP for Oshinoko.
It's called
ED
Burning.
for Oshinoko.
Burning.
I will not pronounce that name. Look, there are some Japanese names that I can just... It's a long
Give it a shot, Jay. Give it a shot. Do it.
Hitsuji Bungaku. Oh, that wasn't actually that bad.
Just nails it.
Just nails it. Great.
Casual.
Of course.
All right, now I'm mad at you. Mike, what's your runner-up?
My runner-up's from the same show as Jay's, but it's the OP. Fatale by Gemen, Gemn, which is apparently a mashup of Tatsuya Kitani and Kento Nakajima, whoever those people are. I don't know. I really enjoyed the opening song of this. It gave me kind of vibes of, I think it was the ED of the first season that was done by Queen Bee. But either way, it was a lot of fun. It was a very cool song, and that's kind of what I like about it. I like the vocal style they have in it. It's a little bit like Unravel, a tiny bit. It has like shades of it in it, and it's just a nice little song. And I listened to it a lot, and the OP was good, but the song made me watch the OP more than the OP did.
Nice.
That's what I'll say. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to production. So production we have listed as like OST direction. Essentially, take the anime out of it. Like what is the best like direction, music, production,
so this is like the highfalutin award a little bit.
Yeah. I'm going with the Dark Horse.
Okay.
I just talked about it because OST's included in this, and the direction of it, like it's scary. You're on the edge of your seat. Terminator Zero. What a great job! Like, yeah. And just like the different concepts and stuff, there's not many firearms in Japan like there is in the States. So the Terminator has to like improvise with obtaining weapons. They even mention it like, let's go to a gun store. And they're like, we don't have gun stores in Japan.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So like they steal the little guns from like police officers, and he makes like a crossbow in his arm and stuff. I don't know. It's cool. There's lots of cool concepts. It makes you think about stuff. It asks you questions that you really, maybe the show is right. Maybe we do need to just stop being around. It was really good. It was very good.
Ultron was right.
Maybe Ultron was right. It was like it's the Ultron question, but less clunky.
Maybe the best way to save humanity is by there not being any humanity at all.
Yeah, classic question. But yeah, I just had a blast watching this. I binged it, like thinking I would watch an episode or two, and I just binged the whole thing.
Oh, it's an easy binge too, especially if you like that. It's I feel like it's really like formulated production from a production standpoint to like a Western audience, and like it like you could probably watch that and be like, oh, that was a good cartoon version of Terminator, and not like you could send that to your dad and he'd be like, oh, I didn't even know that was anime. Well,
it's written by Americans. The original script is in English. The music is all done by Americans. It's really the only anime part of it is the anime animation part of it. Yeah. Great job. Well done.
Excellent job. Wonderfully done. Yeah.
Jay?
My best production goes to a show that I love, and that is Shoshimin series. Just like how the show is shot, some of the ideas that it does, like I love how it uses, like it puts the main character in like the literally in the shoes of the character that they're thinking about to show like the series of events. That's such an interesting idea for a mystery. And then also just like the show, just like the shot style is very monogatari-esque, but it's still its own thing that feels like right at home with this kind of story. So I mean,
and I mean, bold choice, Jay. I have 2 words for you.
Suck it.
Aspect ratio.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
You don't see that. You don't see that often in anime. It makes you feel like you're watching a movie. It's cool.
Yeah. It does feel like a movie.
What is that? It's in it has a letterbox thing. It's like in full 16:9, which is kind of
it's in like
unusual.
Proper widescreen. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is unusual for an anime for sure. Yeah. I don't even know if I've ever seen that before.
I think Erase does it, but anyway.
Sometimes you'll see stuff do it, but like it's like to make a point of a scene.
But like this is like throughout the entire show.
Yeah, it was just a directional choice.
Yeah.
Kind of blends in. You don't realize it, but then when you're looking for it, you're like, oh yeah, this is like a big boy anime.
Oh, I am smart.
Yeah. Mike, what's your production of the season?
This one, I have a pretty obvious winner, and I'm glad you guys didn't take it, because you're leaving just delicious morsels on the table for me. And for me, there was a show that as I was watching it this season, I kept thinking to myself, this is a goddamn movie. Like the sound production and like the way shot composition was done with all of the stuff was excellent, and that's makeine to me. I think that show looked and sounded and was shot while being essentially just like a rom-com type situation. It managed to just like elevate it so much with like, and I lump a little bit of the visuals into this because I include like shot composition, and like there's a few shots of them on like the stairs and them up on the roof looking at the sky, and just the way it's framed and set up is great. And I just found that the direction that they gave the voice actors for the show, I watched it dubbed, by the way, for most of it.
Okay.
And the direction they gave them was just so different from, I find, most of the shows are usually done from a voice actor standpoint. Like they kind of made them like when it just felt like a movie. Like when you watch a movie, there's like a different quality to the voice acting, and it had that. And I think that's maybe what they got by having kind of more of a delayed release with the dub. And
they could work.
Hats
on
off to is that A1? I think.
Yeah, it was
A1.
Yeah, A1. Honestly, changed like increased my opinion of A1 this show singularly.
Yeah. Again, I just want to clarify. If this is your first time watching, we are not like haters of A1. We just think they're kind of good.
Kinda.
They're good.
I think A1 is a mixed bag because there's like I imagine they're like the biggest animation studio out there. And so like whenever they do an anime or like they produce an anime, it's like you're basically entering the lottery.
Yeah.
Well, I think they consistently whelm me.
Yeah, that's how I would put it. I feel like I've never really been like truly blown away from an A1 show before this, I don't think. Well, even thinking of Licorice Recoil and Kaguya-sama, maybe I've just underrated them. I don't know.
They do good stuff, but like even when they do like their crazy Sakuga and like Sword Art Online and stuff like that, I'm just like, I've seen this before. Yeah. I've seen crazy stuff.
Maybe Solo Leveling just lowered my expectations so much. I don't know.
They're tainted, but this season they did a really good job.
Erased also looks really good.
Yeah, I just want to say for production as well, be remiss if I didn't mention Monogatari.
Yeah,
direction, just solely on its direction.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I wish. I want him to direct movies. Like I want to see his vision in live action. I
want him to direct my life and my dreams.
Well, no, like sometimes you see like stuff in anime and it's like, it's cool, but I don't know if it would work. Yeah. And like his stuff, like his just the way that he like frames the shots and how creative he is and like how the story's being told, where they're like all of a sudden, like one episode I watched today was like. One of the characters was telling a story and they just like put all of them in like a theater and they're all like watching them put on like a show. It's like, well, that's not, they're actually in like a room, but just the creativity and the direction. It's so good. He's so good at it.
It's master of his craft for sure.
Yeah. That's my runner up. Jay, do you got a runner up?
Monogatari was my runner up. I mean, Saki Yukishimbo. So like,
Mike, would you also like to say Monogatari?
I would, but I never watched it, so I don't know. I'm like still in. I honestly like stopped watching shortly after the toothbrush scene. I think, to be honest with you.
Wow,
but
weak. Your weakness disgusts me.
Well, I mean, he knew. Mike knew that there was no going. Like that was the peak.
Yeah, you can't top that.
Yeah. No, I don't think I had a runner up really for production. I nothing really stood out to me quite as much as makeine. Maybe Oshinoko season 2.
Yeah.
Just because it was very artistic in the way that they handle a lot of stuff. And to me, but the thing is, I dock it points because a lot of that was just purely visual, not so much others. Like it just felt like they were kind of animating stuff from the manga. Plus, they didn't kind of elevate it. Maybe I don't know. Okay. It was really good. It looks great, but maybe from a sound stage, I just needed more and just stuff like that.
Okay.
And with Aqua's kind of monotone way of acting, it's kind of just not. You just don't get that from it. So I'll say that and move on.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to visuals. So this is like the proper anime stuff of it. So like your character designs, your animation proper. I am going with Mike's favorite anime of the season. Apparently, I'm going with Makeine. The animation in it, like just over the top. Like it's so good. It really has no business being as has no business being as well animated as it is. From the OP to the ED, just to the character interactions. No show made me laugh at character shots as much as this show did with Anna and her just like that one time when she forgets her wallet and she just like brushes her hair and starts laughing. It's perfect. I really love the visuals in this show, and it's just bright, colorful. It's easy to watch. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a pleasure to watch. Yeah. And like you said, the character reactions in that show are great, and just like the art style is so fantastic.
Yeah. Jalian, did I steal yours?
No, you didn't actually. My my visuals, best visuals of the season goes to a show that I actually haven't talked about yet this awards, and that's Wistoria, Wand and Sword.
Yeah.
This show looks fantastic. From its action sakuga to like just its characters and world and all that, but like I think that the thing that this show is gonna go down in the books for is its animation and fight choreography in sakuga. Just looks so good.
I want to watch it, and it's literally only because it looks so good. I just kind of ran out of time to watch it, but it, like the concept and that stuff doesn't really do that much for me, but like it just seems like very well animated fights. So that just sounds cool to me. And apparently I think it's done by the guy who did lots of the good Black Clover stuff that people really like, so kind of makes sense.
Cool. Mike?
Mine. Oh, I feel like I said mine, but I didn't. For me, the visuals, I think the most visually impactful anime to me this season was Oshinoko Season 2. And I think a lot of that lends to the fact that most of the season was spent on this stage play that they did. And the nature of the stage play kind of allowed it's kind of a production thing too, but the nature of it is it allowed them to be a little more bombastic with the character stuff. As they're like flying through the air and swinging swords, they're in costume, they're acting and like overacting and just kind of like, I'm a total sucker for anime eyes doing crazy things, and Oshinoko does the anime eyes doing crazy things like no other, with like stars and all that sort of crazy stuff going on. And honestly, just like the first season of Oshinoko looked incredible, and the second season somehow looks even better. So it's kind of just like, I don't know how you could make an anime look better than Oshinoko, to be honest with you. It looks fantastic, and the character designs are classic and great, and like the characters actually change outfits quite often too, and like you can top to bottom, beautiful show. Everything looks great in it. Continue. Yes. Yeah. Runners up.
I kind of knew what mine was from the start. I don't really have a runner up. To be honest,
knew that one wasn't going to fall to me, the makeine for sure on this one, because it was like, that was clearly a beautiful show.
Makeine probably would have been my runner-up as well.
Yeah. Well, with that, we have one last award that we'll present here
have a runner-up.
The first half. Oh, you do have a runner-up. I thought you meant. Yeah. I thought you said like makeine was yours.
Oh no, my actual runner-up was Elusive Samurai, because that show, again, kind of like I said about Wistoria, where it's kind of like a generic plot that doesn't really do a lot for you. This one is carried by Cloverworks' awesome visuals. Like it just it truly elevates a somewhat medium par, like it's just par for the course manga, I guess, of Elusive Samurai. And it just takes it and just Cloverworks are like, okay, watch what we can do. And they everything in that show looks fantastic. The fight scenes are so dynamic and cool. It's shot awesomely too. Like there's a scene in the very first episode where he's like basically dodging an army of soldiers, and you could just feel like the energy of the scene and just like how elusive this guy truly is in that scene. And it sounds stupid, but like it really, they do such a good job of it. It's just great,
he is the elusive samurai.
He is.
No, Cloverworks is so underrated.
It's Cloverworks.
Studio, this is our final award of the
this first half.
This first half. This is a long one. Listeners, just letting you know. I mean, you see the runtime in the bottom. You know how these award shows work. Studio of the season. My favorite studio came back with one of my favorite shows. I'm going with Studio Shaft. Jay, who are you going with?
That's fair. Yeah. I knew that was coming.
You praised Shaft so much in the last one that I was like, of course.
Yeah. I mean, it's Shaft.
I feel like I feel like if you had picked any other studio, you would have been lying to yourself.
That's kind of how I feel too.
Jay, who's
I'm going with a studio that you guys kind of dogpiled on earlier today, and that's A1 Pictures. I mean, they kind of brought it with makeine, and it looks so good. And the fact that we're giving it all these awards, I mean, is kind of a testament to how good they did this season. So,
yeah. Mike?
I agree with that. And the 2 studios I want to give this to have already been awarded this year. And that's Doga Kobo and Production IG. So I will not award them here because I want more variety in our final awards. So I'm going to go with Cloverworks. I think.
Sure.
Yeah. I feel like they deserve it because they only had the one show, but I feel like they truly took something and elevated and made it into way more than it ever. If it wasn't Cloverworks doing that anime, we would not be talking about it at all. No one would be talking about it.
I mean, like the one thing we watched the Gigic video about it, and like he talks about how they change animation styles and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. They did the same thing with Bocchi the Rock too.
Oh yeah,
and I like that didn't surprise me. It's like no, they're good. They're good. Yeah. That's what they do.
Yeah, after watching Windbreaker, this is like the second kind of mediocre but beautiful anime I've watched of theirs this year, and they get an award for that basically.
Yeah, they're not afraid to like try stuff.
Yeah,
which is great. My runner-up was A1 actually, Jay.
Nicely done.
It's really funny you say that because my runner-up was Shaft.
Well, there we go.
Look at you. Why did I just guess already?
Yeah, no, it's like A1, just going off of what you said, like did such a good job, really blew me away with considering I'm such a hater of them. But ultimately, like, come on, Shaft made another season of Monogatari. Like, I'm gonna give it to anyone else.
Yeah,
get real.
You knew what your award was before the season
Shaft,
started.
obviously.
Yeah, mine's Shaft. I mean, hey, look, Monogatari, it does look pretty good. It is pretty good.
Yeah. And Mike, do you got a runner up?
Yeah, I kind of revealed them at the start, and they're really my real winners, but they're my runners up in this because I wanted to give it to a different studio. Yeah. And that's Production IG for both doing, they did Kimi ni Todoke season 3 as well as, help me here.
Terminator.
The other one they did? Terminator. Yeah. And both of those were very good. And I feel like they're chef's kiss, great. Yeah. They did a great job. And then the other one, I deleted it here, so I can't remember what it was. It wasn't remember. Wit. I don't remember. Yeah, is it at the top? Production IG. Anyway, we'll move on. Yeah, we'll move on.
I wouldn't give Wit anything this season.
Yeah,
no, I love Wit, but kind of a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll come back.
A little stinky this season.
Oh,
they'll be
Doga
okay.
Kobo.
Or
Alia and Oshinoko.
Yeah, Alia looks great too. Yeah. But those studios, they'll come back. They'll come back from the abyss. We'll come back from the abyss after this.
We should, hopefully. Break. Welcome back. No, Cole has the power. He will never.
I'll allow it. Mike, keep going. Mike. You want to do this?
No.
Do it.
I'm like the main character in Dawn to Dawn. You gave me the power, and now I'm just depressed. What a bother.
What a bother. Anyway, welcome back. Yeah, we're here. We're doing awards. We're not fighting and not wanting to get this over with. We're happy. We're excited.
Ecstatic.
We're full of energy.
Nothing ever brings the energy up like stating how full of energy you are. Let me show how energetic I am.
Okay.
Woohoo!
It's me, Jay.
It's me.
It is
Jay Sama.
It is
guys. Let's you know what will bring the energy up?
Yeah.
What's that?
Talking about best girls.
Oh, let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. First award of the second half. Bring us in with a bang. the most contentious award of the season. Best girl of the season. As usual, you guys know the rules. I go first. I am going with a show that everybody forgot about because they dropped all of the episodes at once on Netflix. I'm going with Sawako Kuronuma from Kimi ni Todoke, season 3, right? It's season 3.
Yep.
I mean, how could you not? She's one of the all-time best girls.
She was my pick as well. So congratulations, Cole. But I knew that the odds of her falling to me were so criminally low. The only hope in hell I had of Sawako not being my best girl was if you just somehow forgot that this season happened because it dropped all at once on Netflix.
Well, in all honesty, I did almost forget about her because I did have another character picked out, but I was okay with leaving it because I know Jay's about to nominate her for best girl of the season, so it's okay. Yeah,
I mean, like she is best girl, and that's Ana Yanami from Makeine. Just like
yeah,
the facial reactions alone, are just like what a delight.
She's peak. She's a very good girl. Yeah, very delightful.
She kind of sneaky carries that show a little bit.
Yeah.
The other girls are good too, and they deserve a nod in this category. I'd say, especially Lemon.
A knob, like
a nod. I said a nod. I said a nod. You dirty boy with your knob. Get your knob out of here. She was a delight, and yes.
Yeah. Mike, who's your best girl of the season? Who are you scraping the bottom of the barrel for now?
Yeah, you guys took arguably the 2 best girls of the season.
Well, I mean, there's one that Cole was saying earlier was best girl that he didn't take.
I know. He kind of bamboozled us, and I'm sure he'll bring her up in his running up section. And I didn't watch that show, so I don't know anything about her. I'm going to give my best girl of the season to... crap, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Akane from Oshinoko.
Let's go, baby.
Yep, Jay's bamboozled me. Jay's bamboozled me, and honestly, she just had a great season in Oshinoko. Lots of great character things. This could really go to her or Kana. Honestly, they're both great, and they both have a great role in this season.
But Akane's better.
They're both good. They're both good in different ways, but I'd say Akane had more moments this season that really kind of stood out to me. So I'm going to go with her. I'm going to go with her for my girl of the season. But I feel like there's 2 that you guys picked sitting at the top of this class. Yeah. And there's like a lot of like tier 2 girls this season, I think. And I think Akane's probably in the lead of the tier 2 girls for me. So yeah,
I think we're going to get some hate mail for this one because I think that there's some that we're leaving on the table. The main one is Alia. Kind of criminal that we're not nominating her because she is a good girl.
She is a good girl. I think the problem is that there are just so many good girls this season that it's hard to stack.
And she's not even the best girl from her show. I mean, you guys alluded to her. Yuki, she's got the little sister energy, and she's a pervert, and she's a lot of fun. She is definitely the most memeable girl of the season.
Yeah. She had the most charisma for sure. And I didn't watch a single episode of this, but I know who she is, and I know she's best girl in that show already. So that checks out. She's great.
And I got to give a shout out to Sengoku, played by the wonderful, little spoken about Kana Hanazawa. We barely talk about her, but she's very good. No, she had a very good arc, growing up, coming out of her shell. Great stuff. Good. Love it. Jay, who's your runners up?
My runner-up was Alia as my main runner-up.
Fitting.
Just a look, man. Who doesn't like tsunderes?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like tsunderes? And Mike, who was your runner-up? I feel like you went over it a lot, but
did I? Oh, I feel like there's a few runners-up for me this season, and probably one of the forefronts of that one are the supporting cast of Kimi ni Todoke season 3 there. I feel like her friends really kind of like everyone had a good moment this season. Everyone had good character development and like awesome connections. And I feel like that is definitely something. And then obviously there was Holo in this season as well. I mean, It's Holo. It's Holo. But I feel like we kind of blew our Holo load last season a little bit. And
our
like
whole
it was
load.
Our whole load, yes. And I feel like we kind of knew there was some of the impact was worn off, but she had some really good character development moments this season as well. Mm. And that's probably my two big runners up. Oh, and Harley Quinn. I mean, it's anime Harley Quinn.
It's Harley Quinn. Yeah,
it's Harley Quinn.
I mean, yeah, I haven't watched the show, but Harley Quinn's always a fun character.
She's fun. Yeah.
Now, on the flip side of this best coin, we got best boy.
Yes.
My best boy will also, without a doubt, I think, be your guys' best boy. So good luck with this one. I'm going with Kazuhiko Nukumizu from Makeine.
He's on my list. Yeah.
Great boy. He's so good. We kind of talked about it a little bit on break. It's nice to have a show where, like, it's a romance, comedic romance for sure, but like they could also all just be platonic friends, and that's totally fine. And he carries the show. I mean, he's obviously the main character. He's the connective tissue between all of these other girls. I really vibed with him.
I did too. And the thing is, for me, I can't watch these semi-ecchi harem shows or these quote unquote romance shows a lot of the time, because the main character is just kind of like, a lot of the times they'll make them so impossibly pure or like so perverted that it's just kind of like, you can't they don't seem like a person. They seem like a caricature of a person almost. And I feel like our boy here, he really did actually feel like a character that like you kind of root for and you kind of like identify with a little. Like he felt real and personable, and he felt like a person you could talk to.
Like his attitude is basically just like, leave me out of it, and he always just gets dragged into stuff. Like even the first episode where he sees Anna like getting blown off by her crush, and he's just trying to like keep his head down.
He does the thing where he's like, oh crap, she saw me, and then
he's good. I like him.
He also is like, he thinks about other people a lot too. Like there's that one scene where he like thinks that he's like, his little arrangement there is being a bother to one of the girls, so he's like, like we can stop doing this, like it's good. And then but in trying to be a good person, he doesn't realize he's like kind of hurting people, and then he learns lessons, and it's like very rare you learn
there's
lessons.
There's a whole arc about it with the little girl too.
That's right.
Where he's like thinking he's helping, but like he's not really. He thinks he's thinking about her, but in reality he's not, which is just a good lesson to learn in general. Like sometimes you've got to think about the other person when you're trying to help. Who are you trying to help? Them or you? Think about it.
Right.
Jay, think about telling me who your best boy is.
You'll be surprised to know that wasn't my pick for best boy, so I'm not scrambling.
I swallowed my drink before I spit it out.
My pick for best boy is Will Seyfort from Wistoria. Just a
name I've never heard.
Just a good boy, and seeing him overcome the odds was just a fun time overall. Just a good cinnamon roll boy.
Yep. Who doesn't like a cinnamon roll?
Yeah.
You got cinnamon, you got roll, put them together. 50% cinnamon, 50% roll. 50%. That's what I say.
Yeah. 1% good, 99% hot gas.
Exactly. Mike, who's your best boy? Bestest boy?
I'm just still stuck on the mental image of 50% roll, 50% cinnamon, and like how much cinnamon that really would be, how dry that would be to eat. Best boy for me, I felt like I feel like Cole took the obvious choice, and I feel like there really wasn't a good runner-up for me, really, at all, honestly. So I'm going to go with kind of a semi off the board pick here. I'm going to go with Kraft Lawrence from Spice and Wolf.
I mean, hey, yeah.
He, kind of like I said about Holo, Holo had some really good moments this season, and I feel like Lawrence had equally good, if not better moments. Like there's a whole arc that happens where he like kind of thinks he like messed up and lost Holo. And just seeing him kind of like deal with that and like kind of like figure it out, and like it's he evolved from the first season, where in the first season he's just like this he's Lawrence the merchant, and he's just kind of like basically like teaching you economic stuff. In this one, he kind of like developed more as a person and kind of like came to understand like, oh, okay, I kind of have to like be a good like boyfriend to Holo basically. And I felt like that was really endearing. And
Mike, now you know why I like Spice and Wolf.
yeah. And I feel like in the last seasonal awards, we kind of dunked on Spice and Wolf a little bit. Like, I think it actually, one of us gave it our disappointment of the season, our flop of the season. It was, cool there.
Yeah.
And as someone who watched only the first season of the original Spice and Wolf, and now I've watched the second season through this new adaptation, I think we just spoiled ourselves by knowing what happened. And it wasn't, because the second season for me was fantastic, or the second half of it was fantastic.
And like I love Spice and Wolf because of the character dynamics between Holo and Lawrence, and like you get that after that like first initial arc. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're liking it, Mike. Do you want to borrow my light novels?
I have the audiobooks. Even better. Someone reading to me like a bedtime story. Yeah, exactly. My runner-up. Spoilers, Jay. I'm sorry, but I got to do this to you. I'm going with Araragi from Monogatari, because it's Araragi from Monogatari. The words just Monogatari.
What do I even have to add to that?
And we go to Cole for the Monogatari award.
This just in. It's good.
Yeah. But actually, no, wait, hold on a second. He actually didn't pick Monogatari as his winner, but he picked it as runner-up. So good boy.
And the reason he's runner-up is like he's only in, as of recording, 2 episodes, really.
I was surprised. I honestly, like, I legitimately thought he died at the end of the season, the first series. So
I was surprised as well, because I thought he wasn't going to be in this, and then he showed up, and I was like, hell yeah, brother, let's go. My boy's back. He's got long hair now.
Sweet. Is it long, like down his back?
It's like to his shoulders.
Shoulder length. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, Jay, spoiled it for you.
I knew he was in the season because like they casted him in the like before the show came out. Like they were like, oh, he's back.
Hiroshi. Kamiya.
Yeah,
great. He's the goat. He's the goat. The goat. He's the goat. Jay, do you got any runners up?
That's why he's the MVP. That's why he's the goat.
We need that drop on the soundboard.
Yeah, write it down. Write it down.
Write it down.
I'm writing it down. The goat.
Okay.
I'm gonna write down the goat.
Jay.
I'm gonna write down the goat, and then I'm gonna look at this tomorrow, and I'm gonna be like, "What were we talking about?"
What the hell? Yeah.
Anyway, Jay, runners up.
We're waiting patiently.
My runner up for this Masachika, I feel like at least needs a mention. Definitely not the best boy of the season.
Who?
The main guy from Alia.
He'd be on my list too. I liked him. He's just like so blasé, but then every now and then like he shows his true colors where he's like super competitive, and like a weeb, and he's like actually super smart and capable.
Nice. So he's not like your typical like cinnamon roll self-insert character. He's actually got a bit of personality to him.
He's like, what's his name from what's that book you guys both like,
which
the light novel you guys both talk, Classroom of the Elite. He's like Iwatobi, but like not insufferable. He doesn't think of him.
Yeah. Okay.
A little bit. I think he does. There are a lot of Iwatobi bits to him. And especially in like his backstory and things like that.
The fact that he knows Russian, first of all, is kind of Iwatobi.
Sorry, I should phrase it like this. He's like a comedic Iwatobi.
Okay, yeah, I can see it like that.
Yeah.
And then like, I've read ahead in the light novel, and it goes a bit more into his backstory and like kind of why he is who he is and all that. And yeah, he's just a good boy.
He's just good. I like that one, Jay. Well done. I was gonna, it's just, Araragi.
I mean, but you also didn't pick Araragi.
I know. Mike,
he took the
I can't remember who I picked. Mike, who are you picking is here?
Makeine.
I know.
He picked,
I literally have it written down.
Main character from a harem show syndrome where you can't remember what the hell their name is half the time because they're irrelevant.
Nukamizu. Yeah.
Yep. Nukamizu. Yep. My backup pick was also a fairly obvious one, and like Cole said, in his best girl pick, what's her name? Sawako is obviously best girl, and I feel like how can you not say Kazuhaya is obviously best boy? I mean, except that he's my runner-up, but he is just obviously a best boy. Period.
Yeah,
like
he's
great, and he has some great. You got a little bit more introspection, and he's not just what did they call him in the first season? So refreshing. He kind of like grew out of his like, oh, he's just like the hot boy she falls in love with. And kind of like, you kind of see him doubt himself a little and kind of like learn, again, like I said with Lawrence, he kind of learns how to like build on this relationship and stop being kind of just
he grows out of being the Gary Sue.
Yeah. There you go. The Gary Sue. I like it. That's an AniPro. Copyright that. That's an AniPro thing.
Do you want to break it to him, Jay?
Yeah, I'll break it to Mike. That's not a thing I made up. That's an existing thing.
That's a thing. Yeah, it's like the male version of Mary Sue.
Yeah. I knew Mary Sue was a thing, but I didn't realize anyone ever.
I think it's Gary Stew, actually. I just messed it up.
You know what? No, then we are claiming it.
We're back.
Gary
We're
Sue.
back, baby.
We got
Gary
it.
Stew.
Copyright.
Gary Stew. It's ours. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. He has always been good, and he kind of elevated his game a little bit. Honestly, all the characters in that show are so damn good.
I know. Well, it's a legacy show, and all of those characters are like legacy characters. Honestly, you mentioned it with Best Girl. Like when we did our reviews, like I didn't even say that Sawako was my favorite, my best girl from that show. Like there's no wrong answers with that because it's awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Even Peen actually had some excellent moments in this season as well too.
I think he was my best boy. Yeah.
I think he might have been your best boy.
When it comes to art's subjective. There's no such thing as wrong answers when it comes to
absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
yeah, but except when we're awarding these awards. These are inarguably the correct answers.
Your two answers are wrong and mine is correct.
No, the three of us collectively are correct.
Yes. That is true. These are all factually correct opinions from AniPro.
Yeah, and you can't disagree with them, otherwise you're wrong.
That's right.
Exactly.
We will block.
Unless you want to comment it in the comments below.
Please do.
We'll read them.
Yeah.
Please
do.
But
we'll disagree.
But we will disagree.
Yes.
Okay, who are we protecting, though? This is Protecc Energy. Biggest Protecc Energy. And I nominate... The second I watched this character's arc from her show... I was like, I need to protect this little cinnamon roll, 50% cinnamon, 50% roll, 50% side bang with a little tuft of hair in a ponytail. I'm going with Chika Komari from Makeine. She needs to be protected. And she is protected despite her not wanting to be. But you know what? It all works out in the end. She is adorable and awkward. And I just like her character development as well, how she kind of is able to speak to the other club members a bit more with a bit less stuttering and stuff like that. But when she's talking to other people, she has a tough time speaking to them. And it's just, you don't realize, it's one of those things where she probably wouldn't realize that she's doing that, but because she's comfortable around them, she does. It's sweet. It's sweet, and I like a sweet character. They need to be protected. Chika Komari.
Yeah, I feel like she was kind of, again, like the clear and obvious winner here to me. I probably would have picked her too as well, and I kind of knew she wasn't going to get to me because she's kind of the most fragile person in that show. And she's like a little wounded bird that you kind of you're rooting for. You want them to be well.
Yeah.
Unless
she's like a bird you got her in a shoebox.
How annoying she was, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's because of the dub version. Does she stutter a lot in the dub? Maybe it's more endearing in Japanese when you don't know what she's saying.
Maybe.
So
she was just like, she's constantly just like, oh, everyone hates me, I'm so ugly, and just kind of like so down. And she's like, just grow up. And I'm like, holy, you're mean.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's mean.
yeah.
I'm 33 years old and I still think like that. I don't know. Sometimes you just don't grow out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, womp womp. Jay, who's your Protecc Energy?
My pick for Protecc Energy is probably a little bit strange and off the board, and that's because like going into this, I kind of couldn't think of a Protecc Energy character, but so I had to like really like lock in and think about it. And I ended up going with this character, and that's Alia from Alia. And it might sound a little strange at first, but I thought about it and I was like, okay, that actually, I would protect her. And the first thing is like,
I would personally.
I want to protect
I guess
her.
I could protect her.
She gives out the Protecc Energy because like of the embarrassment she would get when she finds out that Masachika actually knows everything she's saying in Russian.
Well, yeah, but I want to push back by saying I 100% think that she's a protectable character just from like her like her tsundere-ness.
Yeah.
Makes her think that she doesn't need help, but like she actually does. And some of her most endearing moments are when she is like very vulnerable.
That's true.
Yeah. So so
I am right.
You are right, Jay.
Yeah, you're right. I am smart.
No, that's kind of a dark horse pick that I completely agree with. Yeah,
but also,
that's a good one.
But also, just the fact that like, the two people that kind of surround her, Masachika and Yuki, are both like huge weebs, and just like I want to protect her from that. She doesn't need to. Yeah. She doesn't need to enter that world.
Yeah. Weebs are dark and dangerous.
Yeah. Spooky. Mike, who are you protecting?
This one was a tougher one for me. I feel like there wasn't too many real good Protecc Energy candidates this season. So I'm going with Tokayuki Hojo, who is the main character from The Elusive Samurai. And does he go through some rough stuff very early in his young life. And he just kind of learns to deal with it. Luckily, he does have someone who literally is essentially they basically said to him, like, you have so much Protecc Energy, I'm just going to take you in and protect you and just kind of give you the life you deserve and give you hope at revenge. And yeah,
isn't that what we all want?
That little lad. He's had a tough go.
Isn't that what we all want?
Yeah.
Chance at revenge.
That anime, by the way, way darker than it reveals itself to be on the cover on the tin. When you look at the tin for The Elusive Samurai, you say, "Oh, it's just a fun shonen romp." No, there's beheadings in this one.
Yeah,
there is some pretty graphic, gory stuff. Yeah, people die graphically, and it's like, oh, okay, this is not just a silly fun time anymore. So yes, let's protect that little lad from the horrors of war.
Dangerous world.
What runners up did you guys have? I have really not that many.
Yeah, I can't even think of one off the top of my head, to be honest. I'm looking at my shows from the... Mike, if you've got some ready, why don't you go ahead and...
I would just throw out like the entire cast of Kimi to Okay, I want to protect. Or the little kids from Terminator. Terminator Zero. The little kids, you kind of want to protect them too, because they kind of have they have some rough goes as well, and there's some, I mean, like the world's literally coming to an end around them. So
and they literally need to be protected from the Terminator,
who was literally sent there to terminate.
Yes. Oh, I mean, another all-time best Protecc character who just is, again, a little bird that you want to keep in a shoebox, Sawako Kuronuma.
There you go. Yep.
I mean, she's coming out of her shell and whatnot, and that's kind of the thing. But like, even still, she's so naive and so like meek. You just kind of want to wrap her in a blanket and tell her
Protecc Energy.
Yeah, you want to wrap her in a blanket and say, "It's all good."
Maybe I should go with her. Actually, I don't know. I thought about it. I could. I will. You know what?
This just in. This
just in. Wee woo.
Yeah, let's protect Sawako from Kimi ni Todoke season 3, because why not? She needs protecting.
Does Autry need protecting?
No, she's very capable. She's quite capable.
Cole, over to the Monogatari man. Does anyone from Monogatari need protecting?
I would have nominated Sengoku for protecting, but the whole arc is her like coming out of her shell and
becoming
being
capable.
Like the main character, so to speak. So no, everybody is good in Monogatari. All good in Monogatari land. No one needs protecting. Maybe the new character, Suicide Master, a little bit, kind of, maybe, perhaps.
It's
Possibly.
just in wee woo. No one from Monogatari makes Cole's must protect list.
No, not this time.
For me, another my runner up would probably be Ruby Hoshino, but I mean like Ruby's just always must protect.
Okay.
So like I mean, it would be a crime to just pick her because she's just a constant must protect character.
Yeah, and she's like kind of barely in this season up till the end as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drip time? Drip time?
Drip time. Let's talk about drip. Look at our drip right now.
Yeah, we dripping. Frank
I'm wearing my orange shirt. It looks not orange. Yeah, it's orange.
It looks white. Your color grading that you do to yourself reveals it to be white.
Yes. Well, it's white then. Okay, let's talk about drip. What is drip, Mike? What do we mean by drip?
It's just kind of like what character we thought looked the coolest, basically, is how I approach this one. Like who kind of bonus points if they do some outfit changes to me. And like it's just kind of like what character design did you like the best is really kind of what this one comes down to for me.
Yeah. All right. I'm going with a character from a show I didn't even watch. Not even a second of it. You know why I didn't watch it? Because I can't watch it. But when we were watching OPs and stuff yesterday, I realized, God damn, she looks cool. I'm going with Harley Quinn.
You son of a bastard. She's so drippy. She's so drippy.
Let your freak flag fly, Harley. You're doing great. Slay, as they say.
Yeah.
She looks great. And I love Harley Quinn anime. Like it just works.
Oh yeah, like when someone it's like one of those situations where like someone pitched it in a studio somewhere and they're like, "You're a genius." Like, how did we not think of this before?
We got it.
Yeah. No, that's why they made the show. It's like, let's do Harley Quinn anime, and they're like, well, we can't just like put a picture of her on a TV screen for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we can't just have Harley Quinn.
Suicide Squad then. Let's do that.
Yeah, well, let's give it some context, I guess. Yeah. And then I guess it's anime, so what's isekai, I guess?
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. That was
the meeting.
Thank you for listening to this recording of the meeting of the Suicide Squad isekai pitch.
You should approach Ryan George.
Ryan George?
Have you not seen the YouTube series pitch meeting?
No.
Okay, I'll need to show it to you later off screen.
Yes, I'm old man. Okay. Jay, who has the best drip?
Best drip comes from a show that I did watch, but I didn't really talk about that much this season. But like this character's pretty drippy, and that's Shun Miller from the Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant used to be arch enemies. Just like his whole like commander outfit looks pretty drippy to me, and I don't know, I dig it.
Okay.
I'm looking. Hold on. Yeah. To be decided.
I'm looking. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to judge it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Which character?
It's basically black trench coat with like red collared shirt and a little captain's hat.
Okay.
Shun Miller for Cole.
Shun Miller?
Yeah.
Miller. Yes.
Miller.
Okay.
A guy who mills.
That's what he does?
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
This isn't Spice and Wolf. He's not Evan the Miller.
Yeah, that's not true.
Dig the ditch.
Mike, who's drippy?
Well, obviously Harley Quinn was my choice here because really this is a weak season for drip. I'm going to be honest with you. There is not one. I wanted to say any of the girls from Makeine, but like it's just like, they just look really good, but they just kind of wear school uniforms for the most part.
Yeah, honest
school uniforms kind of. There's a lot of school uniforms this season.
Yeah.
They're semi-drippy. I think I'm going to go with Kana Arima from Oshinoko. Just because she's like one of the few I can actually think about. Like there's a whole arc where she's like trying on a bunch of different outfits. She usually is pretty stylish. She's Kana Arima, for God's sake. Like,
yeah, she's best girl. I haven't even watched the show, and I know that she's best girl.
I mean, she definitely has like, she could be a lot of these things. She's got like that must protect energy a little bit. She's got lots going on. She's got a lot going on. She's very talented. She has drip in spades. So Kana Arima, enjoy your award.
Here you go. This one's for you. I'm going. I liked Yuki from Alia's drip. Yeah, she had some nice outfits outside of school. She had like that kind of yeah,
it's the sister.
Okay.
Yeah, she had kind of that like tomboy aesthetic outside of school, which was I like it. It looks good. Also, just wanna give a quick shout out to Sengoku. She's got a very cute outfit that she assembles.
Coming in, we got the Monogatari check in here.
Yeah, Monogatari mentioned.
She assembles a very, very cute outfit, very Sengoku outfit out of Tsukihi's clothes. When she breaks into the Araragi residence. It's a whole thing. You should watch that show. It's good.
Maybe bring it down from that 9.0 whatever.
Well, I haven't rated it yet because the show's not over yet. Maybe the last episode will be really, really bad.
It's just 20 minutes of Araragi taking a shit.
10 out of 10. Jay, what's your
so graphic?
What's your
I mean, I wouldn't put it past that show considering the toothbrush scene.
That's art, Jay. That's art.
I mean, yeah, because it was directed by Akiyuki Shimbo and also a Monogatari scene. But my runners up, I mean, I got to go with Alia. You mentioned Yuki having good drip, and I got to say Alia also does have good drip.
Alia had good drip. Yep.
And then just like all the characters from Oshinoko this season, like I like their stage costumes as well.
Yeah, I wanted to give it to them for the stage costumes, because the stage costumes look fantastic, but I was like, they're costumes, so does it count? I don't know.
That's why it's here for the runner-up, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why it lost points for that, but yeah, I'm glad we can unite on being like weirdly put off by, it just felt weird giving it to someone in a costume.
It's not their outfit, right? It's like just kind of
character they're playing, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's weird. It's like a alt.
It's like a story driven thing rather than just like casual wear.
But like undeniably they were some of the coolest character designs from this season, I would say. As like
sure.
Yeah.
Mike?
My last runner up probably goes to Ana Aviero Nakamura dos Santos Moreira Cutatini from Nare Nare Hananare. To me, I don't know. There's just something about her. She just kind of like has this like vibe that's so different from anime, and it's just kind of drippy. Like, and really, she just kind of for the most part wears like a skirt and this like yellow, like sports sweater. I don't know what you'd call it. It's just like a zip up hoodie, I guess. No, it's like a hoodie. Just Google Ana Aviero and you'll see.
Why is every non-Japanese person in an anime called Anna?
And why are they always blonde? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got drip to her. She's like kind of like
name?
Ana Aviero. Aveiro. And I don't know, she just kind of like, she just crushes like a pair of yoga pants and like a cool top and just, I don't know, she's got style to her. She's into like hip hop and stuff. She's like a wannabe YouTuber. She's got drip. She's drippy.
She looks like one of the characters from D4DJ.
Yeah, she kind of, the show's like a very typical idol show, so yeah.
I think the one that I'm thinking of is also the non-Japanese character, but that's just what they do. That's what they do. Blonde girl, formula. Blue eyes. There's no way.
Yes.
There's no way. Yeah. So anyway, that's drip. Rate our drip. Put it in the comments. Who's got the best drip?
Yeah. Who's the drippiest character this season?
No, of us.
Who's the drippiest host this episode?
It's not me.
obviously, like, it's always fun seeing when people like comment all their answers to these questions too, whether on our Discord or like in the description. So do that, is for sure too.
Yeah, no, we love seeing what you like this season.
Yes.
Yeah. Best duo. So now we should specify this doesn't necessarily have to be like a romantic couple. It can just be two characters that you thought vibed well together. Do I make myself clear?
Yeah,
gentlemen.
you do.
Yes,
good.
Successfully.
Good. I don't want any confusion to arise from me. Period. I've got two characters that I thought were a good duo, and it's from a show that I've barely talked about, despite it being a very good show. It is the main characters from Dead Demons, Dead Destruction.
Yep.
I'm going with Uran and Kadode from that show. First of all, I love their dynamic. They're great. They're like super duper close friends. What do they call each other? They're I can't remember. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Zetai. They're no. Okay.
It'll come to you later.
Yeah. I'll look it up when I'm not trying to talk.
Yes.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. And of course, who plays them? This is the part that like it blows my mind. Kadode is played by the lead singer from Iwatobi, and Uran is played by the singer Ano, which is just awesome. Like, who knew that these two were
That's
like
cool.
pretty capable voice actresses as well. Yeah, good girls.
So I tried to help you out, Cole, by typing in Zetai, and I've just learned a new term. A Zetai Ryoki means absolute territory and refers to the area of bare skin in the gap between the overknee socks and a over-knee socks and a skirt or shorts.
That's
FYI, absolute.
You've
territory.
never heard of that before?
I've heard of absolute territory, but I didn't know the actual Japanese is Zetai Ryoki.
You helped me though.
Yeah.
You helped me. They call each other their absolute, like they are permanent in each other's lives, and that's very sweet. I like that.
And when you get towards the end of the series as well, you'll understand even more how absolute. Yes.
Suspicious.
Yes.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
I will do what I must. Jay, who is your duo? I saw you typing away.
Yeah, my duo is from a show that I haven't talked about yet, but we'll get to it in like 2 seconds. And that is Saki and Yuta from Days with My Stepsister.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, Jay.
No, actually, I feel like this might be on base. I feel like this might be on base. Yeah. Tell us about your incest show.
Look, man, I'm gonna it'll make sense in a couple of seconds, but
okay.
He's in the kitchen.
In a very interesting, like, I haven't seen a pair so interesting in quite a while, about like two people that like are trying to figure out what's going on with like how they feel about each other, and like how like what, like, why, whether it's like okay, how they should proceed. And like the show kind of like it treats it with 100% sincerity, going to places like, spoilers I guess, where they go like, let's figure this out together and like see how we feel. And it's not just like and then they kiff, but like they're just kind of like,
just to be clear, they do.
I don't think they have in the show yet.
Oh, they do. They do.
But like it doesn't do the weird like brother sister thing where it's just like, yeah, let's forget about that Oni-chan and just be together. But like they actually like talk it out and try and figure it out together. And I think that that's very interesting. And the fact that idea sold a lot of people, despite how off-putting it might seem, is just kind of a testament to how interesting this duo is. And so, like, yes, it is weird, but they kind of bring it back, and it ends up being more than what it seems in the end. So
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Like Yuki from Alya says, it's best if it's blood related.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're not blood related,
and they're not blood related,
exactly.
so it's fine, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. Honestly, like everything I've seen of this show, it seems like an earnest and like honest take on this awkward situation these two young children find themselves in.
Yeah, because they're trying, like, they when they meet, like, they're like, we're stranger, like, this is a stranger that like just is now my sibling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so, like, the show is about them getting to know each other.
And I mean, the show is literally about this couple as a duo, so it makes sense that they'd be a duo of the season for sure.
Yeah.
Mike, who is your duo of the season?
Oh, I was all revved up to go one way, and then at the last minute I'm changing it again, because that's what I do. I change things. I go with my gut in the moment. That's how I approach these things. And for me, the one that I'm really feeling as like my duo of the season is going to be Holo and Lawrence. I think they had an excellent season, and it's not my first. It wasn't my first pick, but now it is my first pick, and I feel like they really, throughout the season, they really develop as a couple and just kind of like friends and all of the above, and they just kind of they turn into a true duo. And there were a lot of duos this season that I felt had great moments. Like, honestly, there was a lot of great character interactions this season, but I feel like there weren't a lot that I watched where they really took up the majority of the screen time and really kind of like were there throughout the whole season. And I feel like in that way, I feel like Holo and Lawrence were. And I'll get to some of the ones I can think of in my runners up for sure, because there's some great duos this season.
It's also interesting that you're double dipping.
Am I?
Yeah, that was your pick last season.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. Then I'm going with my other pick. That can't be. That can't be, because that foils everything.
He's a man of his principles.
I'll go with my original pick then. I'm going with Nukamizu and Anna as my pick, because I feel like they in that show had some of the most earnest character interactions, and they are it's cool to see them develop their pseudo relationship. And like every scene where they were sitting on the steps and they're kind of like, they don't know it yet, but they're kind of like actually getting to like each other and stuff like that. And I don't know that they're going to end up together. I don't really care. I just felt like they became such good friends through this little like weird situation that they fell into. And I think it's great.
I love that scene halfway into the show where like, he's about to like ask like, will you be my friend? And she just instantly rejects him, thinking that he's going to like ask her out. Because
it's the way they keep doing this. One of the running gags in that show is they'll set up like a confession scene or like something romantic, and then it's just like, oh no, that's not what this was at all. And then oh, okay.
Yeah. She's trying to convince everybody that she has a boyfriend. So she's like, can you, plays it up. And then, can you ask this other person if they want to pretend to be my boyfriend? And it's like, it's great. It's annoying, but it's funny. Yeah.
I feel like that's building up to like a genuine confession some point down the line.
Oh, 100%.
I think so.
I think
like
so too. I don't know.
Those two definitely have like the most chemistry.
Yeah,
for sure. And even at the end of like the season finale, like the other two girls kind of like play into that a little bit too. Like it's like they know that those two have the most chemistry. That's a pretty obvious pick, but you know what, Mike? It's the correct pick as well.
I'm surprised both of you guys didn't take it, because the amount of chemistry on the screen there was just fantastic.
Yeah, great chemistry. Runners up. I'm going with, here we go, Monogatari. I'm going with Sengoku and Ononoki.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
you wouldn't think, like it's like a
buddy cop,
bizarre like odd couple. It's you wouldn't think that those two work so well together, but it does, and they do, and I liked their chemistry. Not my favorite, but you know, it's Monogatari.
I have yet to meet this Ononoke character. I've seen so much of her, and I'm curious. She has such a good character design.
Yeah. She's a zombie essentially.
I need to get back around to watching the rest of Monogatari. I don't know why I stopped watching. I do.
I don't know why you did.
It's so good. I don't know why I did either.
It's so good. I've said it before. It's one of those shows where you forget how good it is, and then you start watching it, and then you're like, "Oh my god, this is so good."
Yeah.
What a good show. Jay, do you got runners up?
I do. My runner-up is from a little series that I kind of talked about a little bit, and that's Jogoro and Yuki from Shoshimin. Just like a good duo of people learning, like how to be normal people. Just a good duo.
And again, like a male-female relationship that is not romantic.
It's platonic. Yeah,
it's platonic. That's good. And let me just stand on my soapbox again. Hyoka, Hyoka. Oh my god, the romance in Hyoka. There is no romance in Hyoka. Like they might have a crush on each other, but it's not really played up. That's not the point of it.
But like, I think if you're watching either Hyoka or Shoshimin for the romance, you're not watching these shows for the right reasons.
It's not people always bring it up as like, I can't wait for a season 2 where they'll end up together. And it's like, no, that's not the point. You're not. But what are you even watching the same show as me?
Yeah.
The perfect anime fan, Cole.
The man with all the factually correct opinions.
Yeah. Mike, do you got runners up though? Is it the other two girls from Makeine?
No, I would also just quickly throw out basically the whole cast of Kimi to Doke season 3 there. Some great interactions. One of my other runners up, I mean, I'm basically getting a free runner up because I changed my vote at the beginning here from Holo and Lawrence, but Ayane and I forget what his name is, but the blonde boy, they had really great moments towards the end of this season of Kimi to Doke, and they were one of my duos of the season for sure. Just kind of watching Ayane he kind of like unlocks Ayane, and it's great. It's great. Yeah.
Nice. Very good. I like
nice.
Those picks.
Very good.
Do you guys like having fun?
Love having fun. I'm all about fun.
Fun's good.
Mike is a man of fun. Jay will take fun if it's presented to him.
Yeah, Jay's like, fun? I guess.
Yeah, I'll have some fun. Most fun anime of the season. So this is, just what we vibed with, The way that I think about it is like, what show was I rushing to watch every week?
It's not necessarily like the most like vibrant or zany show. It's more so just like this show was fun to watch for me. And I suspect I know what Cole says.
I'm going with, it starts with an M and it ends in an E. I'm going with makeine.
Oh, that's not what I thought he was going with.
Yeah, I know you thought I was going with Monogatari, but this is Monogatari. Great show. Yeah. Makeine, a more fun show. Definitely.
Okay. It checks out. Yeah.
Just an absolute blast watching. There was 2 shows that I Saturdays rushed to my TV. I'm like a little kid in the morning. I gotta watch my cartoons.
I gotta watch my Saturday morning cartoons.
Cole in his little nightie with nightcap, his nightgown and nightcap, rushing to the television.
And I'm eating waffles, and
I was picturing a bowl of Lucky Charms.
Oh yeah, that's even better. No, I'm eating a bowl of Fruit Loops. Yeah,
there you go.
I just imagine, like Cole, Saturday morning, crack of dawn, he's sleeping in his bed. Me.
Yeah.
And then his his alarm goes off,
and
then like he hits it, wakes up, and goes Monogatari time. Busts out of his bed, runs to the living room, sits right in front of the television set.
On the floor in front of the TV
with like a little stuffed bear in his hands.
Yeah,
like underneath his arm.
Mm-hmm. I'm eating Fruit Loops, and you know what? I'm a big, strong man, so it's 9 a.m. I'm drinking beer too. You know it.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you didn't have to. Okay. All right. Mike. Jay, what was your most fun? Yeah.
Hope you appreciate that picture.
It's only my second one today. Thank you very much.
Picturing beer and Fruit Loops and just like, oh, okay.
Beer and
instead of milk.
Beer and milk. Beer and milk.
Oh, what a combo.
Beer.
My most fun show of the season, probably not like the best show of the season, but like a show that is definitely entertaining for sure. And that's Alia. Sometimes whispers to me in Russian. Just like a fun, sweet show that like, yeah, kind of overstays its welcome to some, and I get that, but like the characters are a lot entertaining enough to keep you invested, and also just like it's a sweet rom-com.
Yeah.
That is also like well produced and animated. Dokukobo did a really good job with it,
for sure.
So
yeah.
Mike,
if I had to give my not underrated, most fun show, I'm gonna go with Suicide Squad Isekai. I feel like it started a little rocky, and I feel like that turned a lot of people off, and people stopped watching very early on. But it had a lot of fun moments, and that's what you kind of expect from a Suicide Squad program, in my opinion, is that you're gonna have some zany fun going on. What's her name? There is going to do some absolutely off the wall stuff, and she does. And there's just like Harley Quinn. Thank you. I'm terrible with names. And honestly, like the supporting cast had some like great moments as well. Like there's a scene where Peacemaker's like he's like in a bar, and like they give him, he's like drinking, and he's like, don't worry, I don't get drunk, I'm Peacemaker or whatever. And then he gets hammered and like takes off all his clothes because someone disturbs his peace, and he starts just a big bar brawl, and there's a dragon they fight, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. That show. It's not as bad as people say. It's goofy. Yeah,
it's goofy. You want you're looking for some goofy fun. You guys have runners up? I'm struggling to think of a runner up this season. Monogatari, I guess, but I don't know. It's not fun. Like Monogatari is not fun.
It's fun to watch. Yeah,
it's just good. It's just really good. So I guess Monogatari. Maybe.
I think I would. My runner up is probably makeine. But I could also see an argument for Nare Nare. I had a lot of fun watching that show as well. And it's like, it's your typical idol show where they're just it's a bunch of girls, they have some little problems they deal with, and they have fun cheering for people. It's a show about cheerleaders. How could it not be fun?
Yeah.
Well, the answer is if the plot was kind of a little weird and kind of just generic and like didn't really make a ton of sense. That's why. Yeah.
Jay, do you got any runners up?
I don't really like, I don't have runners up, but like there are a couple shows that like I could see people saying is a runner up. And that's 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. I could see being a runner up for fun. Definitely not like a great show, but like there is definitely intrigue in there, and I can definitely see that. And then the other one, I feel like Elusive Samurai should be in there as well in the discussion for fun. Like, I mean, just well animated, good shonen fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's always fun to have fun with fun stuff.
With fun things and the fun.
Fun is objectively fun. You're correct.
Yeah. Is it underrated?
We'll find out.
Who knows?
We'll find out. We'll find out if Fun wins one of our awards for underrated anime of the season.
Well, you know, N is for anywhere at any time at all.
That's right. I am going to, I'm on the fence between two, but I'm going to go with one that I have literally seen nobody talk about. And that is Dead Demons, Dead Destruction. Like, of all of the shows that have come out that are genuinely good, nobody is talking about this show. Like, period.
I feel like if you're in certain circles, people are talking about it. Because I think Pete from the What Do You Say Anime podcast, I said like nobody's talking about it. And he's like, everybody's talking about it in my circle. But I think it's the people who know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's about it, though. Because I think the average
like
person
when I
does
say,
not know about this show.
Yeah, when I say nobody's talking about it, I mean like I gauge interest on something if I'm on like Instagram and I see like the pages that I follow posting screenshots and clips.
Is it in the
from shows.
zeitgeist?
Is it in the zeitgeist? Yes. Like the people who are in the know, like Mike said, like you, me, Jay, like we're aware of this show's existence, but a lot of people, like if you're really not in deep in the pool, if you're just waiting around in the shallow end, you're not seeing this one at all.
Yep.
At all.
It feels like it wasn't advertised well. I don't know.
No.
There's something about it that like the release was weird and it wasn't advertised well, and it just kind of maybe it's a little too weird for the average person too.
Maybe
it is. Maybe. It is quite odd.
It's a strange one, yeah, but I feel like that works in its favor. Anyway, Jay, what's your underrated show of the season?
My underrated show of the season, and I don't really feel like I need to get too deep into the weeds on this one because I kind of already talked about it a little bit, but it's a show that people looked at what it says on the tin and went, and that's Days with My Stepsister. Yeah, exactly. This show genuinely has a lot going for it that people are probably going to miss out on. Like, it's a well-produced and directed show.
They almost could have called it something else. Especially if we're just like hot off of like we've got a couple like incestuous type things recently, and I feel like if they just called it something else, it might have.
They should have called it like Days with My Stepsister, but not in a sexy way. That's what they should have called it.
Or like Days with a Stranger Who Became My Stepsister. But then
they should have just steered away from stepsister.
The word stepsister, let's not have that in the title. I don't know what they call it otherwise. Maybe they call it Jumbo Juice, the anime.
Days with My Jumbo Juice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't, but you know what I'm saying? They just need to think of a better name.
We'll workshop it.
They had time. They could have came up with something.
But like, I think I'm kind of split opinion on that because I think the buzzword stepsister also does sell to some people.
Some people, yeah.
Some people of certain persuasions. But they wouldn't like the show because it doesn't delve into those persuasions anyway.
Yeah, but you got him though.
But you already got him. You already got him.
They're going to be disappointed. Anyway, yes.
But anyway.
It does sound, I've heard only positive things about this show, to your credit, Jay. It does seem very
it's just
underrated.
it's just like, I feel like the average person who isn't watching literally everything is looking at the name and going, that anime is doing it again.
Yep.
And then
it was a mistake.
Next, yeah. But it's not that. It's actually a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Michael,
what is underrated?
For me, Terminator Zero was underrated. I feel like it got Jay's waiting to chime in because he hates the Netflix drop, but I feel like it kind of did hurt it a little bit. Maybe the Netflix drop. It usually does, but in this case, it's I don't know what it was people didn't like about it because it didn't. I think it's sitting at like a 7 or something a 7 out of 10 on AniList, and I feel like it was better than that in my opinion. I feel like it had some awkward moments. But like it was a lot of fun. It asked some good questions, set up some interesting thoughts, had some good action, and I think a lot of people would really like it. I'm surprised that it's not getting more praise, honestly.
I don't know what somebody who's looking for a Terminator anime would want more out of. Like if you're turning on a Terminator anime and you're like, this was a 7 out of 10, like what were you expecting?
Yeah.
You know, like what would lead to that score? Like I thought it was really good. In fact, that was the show I was on the fence about nominating as my underrated.
My suspicion on that is like the people who know what Terminator is enjoyed it, and like are fans of Terminator enjoyed it. And the people who just like came in seeing like a new anime, oh, hey, this new anime that's on Netflix. What is this? And then,
but even then, like, I think it still works, even if you don't really know what Terminator is. Like, okay, post-apocalyptic, they travel back in time. It's all about like, you know, humanity and stuff.
Yeah, but like that same thing has been done before elsewhere, and so like they probably think, oh, it's one of these again.
It tells a pretty typical Terminator story, but I feel like it's underrated. I just feel like more people.
Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you. It's just like I think like that might be why.
Yeah.
And
interestingly, it has a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, which is interesting for an anime, but kind of fitting for this one, I'd say.
Yeah. And again, I think like the Terminator fans like this.
Yeah. I think the Terminator fans, even if they aren't anime fans, like we kind of talked about it a little bit before, like if you just showed somebody this, and they aren't really anime fans, but you know, they like Terminator, so they go and they watch it and they're like, yeah, it was good. I liked it. It's not very solid anime-y. Terminator.
So that kind of maybe is why. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I do genuinely, you alluded to it, Mike, like the Netflix release kind of sewered this one. You know what other show it also kind of sewered? Kimi ni Todoke. You know, like it came out, Flash. Everybody was like, this show is great, well received, and then it fell off the earth. Yeah. Everybody forgot it existed.
Yeah. But I can't in good conscience say it's underrated because people who did watch it loved it.
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of the different, like when I say underrated, like I think it's not getting talked about as much as I think it should be.
Okay.
And I don't think it was talked about that much. It got its accolades, it's got its awards and stuff like that, but that's really it.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, like internet years are like 5 hours, right? So like every 5 hours something new happened. So
it's a season 3 too.
Yeah, so like the whole show dropping, everyone watched it, and for those 5 hours that was the big thing that everyone was talking about. And then the next episode of Makeine or whatever came out, and that's what people then started talking about.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it was being released weekly, then they could maintain interest in it.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's the show's fault in or per se.
Yeah.
Just
nature of the internet. Go watch some anime on Netflix. Go watch some of these drops. They're really good. Yeah, honestly, they haven't missed a lot of the time.
Sometimes they're good.
Yeah.
Often they're good. Jay, do you have any runners up?
Runners up. I mean, I guess I technically have to talk about Shoshimin because it's rated so low and it's so good. But like,
what's it rated at right now?
I think it's like a 72, 73
That's
on any
not
list.
super low. It's not terribly low.
I mean, it's about as low as Terminator.
Like, I think it's the same score as Terminator, but
yeah, I think like 70s are good on any list. I would agree. People really rate things badly. I mean, like not everything can be like Monogatari sitting at an 89. Like that's like masterpiece levels.
That's absurd. That's just, I mean, to be fair, that you got to remember that like you're anyone who doesn't like Monogatari has left 3 seasons before that show, right?
Yeah. But I from what I watched, like it's a very beautiful show. I don't know what it was though. It just didn't hook me, that one.
Maybe it was just too ordinary for you.
Maybe.
Oh, how to become ordinary. He's mad.
He's mad. He's mad at me.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Should we get into like the premiere awards that we must give out?
Yeah, let's. We've got 2 premiere awards. Now, we should explain how these work. We have...
How does it work, Cole?
I will explain it. We have continuing anime and new anime of the season. Both of these anime will go into the pool for anime of the year. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm being clear with my explanation. So, first of all, we're going to talk about continuing anime. Do we even need to talk about it? You guys already know what I'm nominating. It's Monogatari.
No.
Yeah, I know.
No
Wow.
way! The
No
Monogatari
way.
guy nominated Monogatari? What is even happening?
I feel like I should defend myself by saying it's genuinely really good too. Like it's not. I'm not just nominating it for the sake of like.
Monogatari is good.
Oh, the Shaft stan thinks the Shaft show is good.
Let's let him cook.
Okay, go off, King.
You're the one who programmed us at the beginning of this episode to make you feel pain.
That is true. Yeah, this was. Yeah, well, I can still fight back.
No, you can't.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm not just nominating it because it's a Monogatari series. I genuinely believe this was the best continuing anime of the season. It's if you liked Monogatari before, it hasn't fallen off. Whether it's visually or story wise or directionally, it's just consistently good. Consistently great, I would say. And yeah, when you release one in a season and it's as good as it's always been, it's probably going to win my continuing anime of the season award.
And to be fair, I think if you go by the AniList score, I think it's the highest rated thing of the year. So
yeah,
there are people who agree with you for sure, Cole.
Yeah,
there's like 7 people watching this show.
89% average score, 90% mean score. Yeah, it's quite well received so far. Jay, what's your continuing anime of the season?
My continuing anime of the season is a show that I really loved the first season, and the second season is just honestly a little bit of a step up. I feel like everything about it kind of stepped up from last season, and that's Oshinoko season 2. I mean, the characters have been kind of solidified. Now they're like developing a bit more. Doga Kobo kind of stepped up their game and how the show looks, and it looks great. From the OP to the ED to the animation, everything in between, it just looks fantastic. And yeah, it's just a really good show, despite the fact that I can't pick Monogatari, so
Were you gonna pick Monogatari?
I was gonna pick Monogatari.
Okay, yeah. I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Valid.
Yeah,
Mike,
valid.
What are you picking because you can't pick Monogatari?
Well, I wasn't going to pick Monogatari, but I was going to pick Oshinoko season 2 because everything Jay said is great. It's just kind of an elevated version of the first. But I guess I'm left. Honestly, there weren't that many sequels this season, which is kind of weird. They all saved them all for fall.
You do have one there, though.
There is one obvious choice, and I'm going to pick it. It's not what you'd expect. It's not Tower of God season 2.
What? You're not picking Tower of God season 2? No.
Yeah, I'm picking for sure. Kimi ni Todoke season 3, obviously. Yeah, this was my backup. What else would I pick? Come on.
Yeah.
Those are the three. Those are pretty well the only 3 sequels worth a damn this season, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I guess you could go Code Geass, but is that a sequel? I don't know.
I mean, you could go Spice and Wolf as well, but
Spice and no, you couldn't because it's still a continuing.
Is it a continuation?
Yeah, it's continuing anime.
Okay.
I guess I could. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm still going to go Kimi ni Todoke because it was fantastic. It just took the characters that you know and love and managed to develop them even more and make the relationships develop as well. And just everything about it was fantastic. The Netflixification of it, the budget and the kind of more hype to it, I guess, the pre-release hype of them saying we're acquiring all of Kimi ni Todoke from me to you. That's gonna be one of our flagship anime. And then they put the effort into dubbing the first 2 seasons. And then they put out these episodes and they put them out in the 1 hour format or longer than an hour format. They really took a lot of like creative liberties with it, and they managed to pay a lot of respect to the source material. And I think it really paid off, and it really, really, really was quite good. So that's why I'm picking it.
I agree. Turning that on, hearing the OST.
Yep.
It's like coming back to see an old friend. It was, it was very nostalgic, and like, the way that they animated it as well, like it's very, it flows well. Like it doesn't look too new in comparison.
No, it really and they have all the same voice actors and stuff. So it really just like legitimately feels like they just like went back to 2011 or whatever, like season 2 came out, and just like, all right, we're just gonna throw a lot more money at this time.
Yeah.
It's good. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, Kimi ni Todoke was my runner-up. It's really, you kind of said it. There's really nothing. Those are kind of the 3 big ones that are obvious.
Nier you could go with. Anyway.
Yeah, I forgot Nier was even
Gold keeps forgetting Nier exists.
You could also go with My Hero Academia season 7, I guess.
No, you can't, Jay.
No, we can't.
No, we could.
Let's not be silly.
It's possible.
You know what? Actually, unless somebody wants to comment that in the comments below, then they can comment that.
Yeah. Or
then
they
we agree with you.
They could have went with Card Fight Vanguard Divinez season 2
Oh,
as well.
You know what? Yeah, let me change my answer, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair, honestly.
It's fair. Yeah.
All right, guys, we got one final award to issue, and then Mike can go to bed. I can go back to Flight Simulator. Jay can go play that game.
Metaphor.
Right. You know what? Also, a horrible name. I keep forgetting what it's called.
Bad name.
Metaphor. Yeah. It's fine.
It's a
I like
metaphor,
the game.
Cole.
It's a bad name. Best new anime. So this is anime that started this season. Makes sense? Easy. Yep. I'm going with another show that also starts with an M. I'm going with Makeine, Too Many Losing Heroines. Yeah. What a fun time. What a blast of a show.
What a twist.
Absolutely criminal that none of us drafted this one.
Yeah.
Shame
we
on
did
us.
talk about it briefly, but like, I remember at the beginning of the season, we were all like, it's by A1, and they always like, they're always either hit or miss.
Yeah.
And like, it's a rom-com, and a lot of the time, like those slice of life rom-coms are probably not that great.
I think we said like, this would be like a 6th round pick kind of thing, but man, in hindsight, this would have been my first. No, it would have been. Monogatari would have been my first one.
I feel like there's just no way. I don't know. I feel like there's no way we could have known it would have turned into what it turned into.
What would be fun? If we redrafted every season too, that would be
fun. That might be a good little bonus episode. Maybe I'll think about that.
Anyway. Makeine. Well animated, well directed. The voice acting was really good. The dub was good, apparently, Mike said.
Mm-hmm.
Just a super fun time. Always a blast watching it, and I hope it gets a season 2. I'm hoping.
I feel like it should. Like, I mean,
it was pretty successful.
Pretty beloved.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm guessing they're gonna see how well the Blu-ray sells before.
Yeah. Jay, is there English releases for the light novel?
Yes.
For this one? There is? Okay. Yep. Maybe I'll check those out.
Yeah. Volume 1 is out. Only the first one, yeah.
Okay. Jay, what's your new anime of the season?
My new anime of the season is a show that I alluded to in our underrated, but I mean, it's the show that was made for me, apparently. Shoshimin series. So good. I
saw this one coming from a mile away.
I love everything about this show. Season 2's coming, baby. We're back. We're so
did
here.
Did they announce the season 2?
They did announce the season 2 right at the end of the last episode.
Good.
So I'm excited. I'm so ready. The show's so good. More people need to watch it and love it. And it's my new anime of the season.
So that at the end they're like, there will be more everyday boring mysteries for us to uncover, and we will analyze these mysteries on next season.
And we're coming to Netflix. We're getting that big budget.
We're getting that big money
drop. Mike, what is your new anime of the season?
Well, you've kind of. I feel like honestly, there was a lot of new anime this season. There weren't a lot of very good new anime. And honestly, other than Makeine, I don't know which one I would pick. So I'm going to go with, oh boy. I hate that I'm doing this, but there's not an obvious one that I want to pick.
Plus-sized elf?
My dear friend Nokotan? No. It's between Terminator, Suicide Squad, and Elusive Samurai for me. And I think when I go with my heart, which one I enjoyed the most, I think I enjoyed Terminator the most. So I think I'm going to go with Terminator. I think I'm going to go with Terminator. For me, that was probably the most. I basically watched it in like one sitting because I just had a lot of fun watching it and just kind of like it really.
It's weird to say you had fun watching it, but I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? It's just like you're exploring the Terminator world. You get the little references and stuff. It just felt like an homage to like the good Terminators, and it's like Cole said, it's the best Terminator since probably T2. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of Terminator stuff in between, so it's neat to see a little throwback like that. And while it wasn't the prettiest show, it wasn't the best voiced acted show, it wasn't the best really anything. In a normal season, it would probably fly under the radar, but in this season, I feel like it stood out enough to give me the jimmies and put it in my new anime winning category.
I'm here for it, Mike.
Thank you.
That's a good pick. Also, I just want to say that the girl that goes back in time, new mommy, step on me, etc., etc. She is
grandmommy step on me.
Yeah, she's good. I liked her.
Yeah, she's good. I liked the one who looks after the kids. I can't say things without being too spoilery. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
The housekeeper.
The housekeeper person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
My runner-up would definitely be Elusive Samurai, I think, though. Suicide Squad Isekai I enjoyed, but I just can't say it was the best anime this season. Whereas Elusive Samurai, at least it was consistent. It was more consistent than Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's an interesting story, and it's What would you guys say your runners up are?
I'd say Terminator was probably my runner-up as well.
Yeah.
It was just a solid sci-fi, like a good sci-fi alternate world, like alternate 1998 or whenever that show takes place in. Its brevity was well received as well, like 8 episodes, 8 half-hour episodes, around half hour. Some of them were a little bit longer, but I had a enjoyable time watching it.
It did. It's weird. It's sci-fi, but it has enough action to kind of keep you awake. I know Cole has no problem with that, but I do. And it's. But
like a lot of there's the action aspects with the Terminator, but then I like the philosophical stuff that happens in Kokoro as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Kokoro. Yeah.
And just like the cool visuals and stuff, the setting really lends itself well to the visuals of it.
Yeah, it's good sci-fi because it makes you think. Makes you
think, and that's what good sci-fi is for.
It uses those head muscles.
Head muscles. It wrinkles my brain.
Yeah.
Jay, did you have runners up?
I have 2. My 2 runners up would be, Cole, you took it, Makeine. Just a well done show, and like you said, it's criminal we didn't draft it.
Yeah.
And then my other one, which where the ones we chose would probably be like tier A. This one would probably be tier B, but like the top of tier B. And that's Wistoria. Just a gorgeous show.
It checks out.
From front to back. And just looks so good. But I would never put it as my number 1, but like it's firm in that like number 2, number 3.
Yep.
And Mike, did you have anything else that you wanted to bring up, or?
No, I feel like I've said enough about Suicide Squad, and that was really the next closest thing for me. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for sitting through this.
Girthy one from us this time.
A long episode. Yeah,
long episode.
As we say, comment down below all of your answers to everything, or come to the Discord as well. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of AniPro. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend about us. If you really like us, why don't you consider supporting us on Patreon, like these lovely people: Mr. Family Guy 36, Elijah Wood, Brain Dead B Dog, Nina Tucker is best waifu. I don't know about that one. Peach, Frama, Kratost, Just Juz, Mog, Free Rents Feet, Antonio Bustos, Uncle of Light. By supporting us on Patreon, you get access to all sorts of perks and really helps out the show. We're also on social media at AniProPod, and please join our Discord community to keep up with us and other listeners. Links to everything is in our description down below or at our website, AniProPod.com. Put that up there. Or you can go to the description down there. Down or up?
Down or up?
Down or up?
Down.
Turn into a children's program at the end here. Our brains are fried.
I'll take us out of this one today, boys. Okay. Yeah. We say, as we do, the end of every single episode of AniPro. It's kind of a tradition around here.
Say it with us this time.
Yeah. All in unison. 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Bye. Beautiful harmony.